Yadawasia Sado Hine Yewaya Sado 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 Pape Yadawasia Sado Yewaya Sado Yadawasia Sado Yewaya Sado 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 Hine Yadawasia Sado Yewaya Sado Otia ye jumona meto namada wasi obiamawe aye jumona meto meto namada wasi obiamawe meto namada wasi meto namada wasi aye jumona meto namada efisa wudina yewo na adoma shewuma wudina yewo eshira ewa wudinimo na wudina ayewo na adoma shewuma na Jesus wudina yewo wudina yewo adom ashewuma wudina yewo eshira ewa wudinimo na wudina yewo na adoma ashenima Jesus wudina yewo fise Wosanu juma ninara Jesus Christ now wosanu juma nina Jesus Christ na wosanu juma nina wosanu juma etisa wofa nasem wonati unasemwa nase obra ni muyadini nase weni da sonyi na rasa obeyo Yesu beyo amanesi uye Mrs. Awofa nasem wonate unasemwa nasobra ni muyedi na weni da sonyi na rasa obeyo eradibeyo manesi uye obeye eradibeyo manesi uye frise orija yanoda na orija you know that COVID season. Orija, yes, Orija, you know that. Na Orija, you know that. Eti say nam ojemua, oniye nenam. Say nam osumwa, yes, okayewo. Orija, you know, Oda.
Glory to God. I'm here again today, and let me say a very big thank you and God bless you to Abeiku Santana for the good work he's doing for the people of Ghana. I know it is not easy at all, but God has given you the wisdom to maintain this. I can tell you, even the 4 days that I've been here, bashings I've had that sometimes I don't know where it comes from. But it's all part of it. Especially when we are speaking on offenses, you may be offended. You need a very big heart to understand that. And I was reading on the net today when somebody said, why did I say the Gans left their God? The truth is that I'm more Gan than the people who are even accusing me. I'm a true Gan Adangbe. All the homes I come from are chieftaincy homes. My father is from Tetteh in Dodowa. So when they talk about Tetteh and Wodokume, Salem in Dodowa, my father is. My great-grandfather was Nene Soji, who led the war from the Dodowa forest and captured British Togoland for Ghana. As a matter of fact, those are the people who have played a role. So I am very proud to be a Ghana Dangwe. My mother is called Nocho, who comes from Osu, Swalata, Oswa Shanti. So we are indigenous, and I want to say I love the people of Ghana. I was born at Jamestown. I was born at Jamestown Clinic. And so you can imagine, my heritage is very important for me. I love the people of Ghana. But what I'm saying is that the Ghans have no gods. Because history tells us that we came from Israel, passed through Elefe and all those things before we got here. Tin Kranfo ankasa no on Kranfo bosum chi nkrania or country ana Hausa ana Igbo. Bosum chi nkrani bia or kankran. One moko ganyoko ne yoga. Oh, they check it. Anybody nkrani bi or say bosum achi no ana osum bosum no. Tigali enye nkranfo de. Eyi enye akono de enye nkranfo de. Whatever. Okay. Kasafofo. It's believed saying Kranfo no anka e de yesum nyame pa. The Wulomo no say no. He's supposed to be a high priest that are supposed to lift up the name of the Lord. And so that is what it is. I think just by way of clarifying a little for those who didn't understand where I was coming from. And I say it with pain, because if we had maintained that heritage, who knows where the people of God would have been today. We have all the sea to ourselves. We have all the land to ourselves. Many years ago, we didn't even know that in the sea, there's so much oil in this part of the world. And yet still, I believe that if we had held on to God, who knows? A message today is on the dangers of offense. And I want to tell you a few stories. The reason why I tell the stories is that you can forget all the scriptures. And you can forget all the sweet talk. But stories stick with you. I'm told that in OKFM this week, one of the stories that has really trended is the story on Elizabeth Smith and her father, Tom Smith. Let me once again congratulate you, Abeiku Santana, and I will forever say this, I'm very proud of you. I'm happy with what you are doing. And I'll say this anywhere and everywhere. What you are doing today will open doors for you. You are the future leaders of Ghana. You are the ones that will be made reference to. You are the ones that will be the cablers. You are the ones that will be the Gifted Fanny Dazes. You are the ones that will be some of the big names we've heard of. I mean, I'm very mindful when I'm even giving the names, because sometimes you send a wrong signal, but God will bless you. And you are the ones that in future, presidents and leaders will be calling to serve in high offices and big capacities. For honoring God, God will honor you. I've never seen anybody honored God and is put to shame before. So Abeiku Santana, Papa Agri, the Lord bless you beyond measure. Amen. Today, one of my sons, Brian Kufuor, is the one who is teaming up with me to do this great work. Brian, how are you? Yeah, I put you on the spot. Who do you think you are? Amen. My passage today is Matthew chapter 11 from verse 2 to 6. I'm talking about how offenses can make you a reproach, a scorn, and a byword. And when John had heard in prison about the works of Christ, he sent 2 of his disciples and sent it to him. And he asked them to ask him, "Are you the one to come, or we should look for another one?" Jesus answered and said to them, "Go back to John the Baptist and tell him the things you hear and the things you see. Tell John the Baptist that the blind still see. Tell John the Baptist that the lame, they still walk. And tell John the Baptist that the lepers are still cleansed. And tell John the Baptist the deaf hear. And tell John the Baptist the dead are raised up. And tell John the Baptist the poor of the gospel preached to them. And tell John the Baptist, blessed is he who is not offended because of me." Offenses, Abeiku, has stopped many people progressing. And when you get offended, you lose what belongs to you. John the Baptist was the one who baptized Jesus, and the heavens opened. He told the whole world, including his followers, that he was even unworthy to unlace the shoes of Jesus Christ. But because he was offended, the very person he was supposed to recommend him, he sent the disciples to go and ask him, offenses will make you talk trash. By the word is rubbish. Offenses will make you talk rubbish. Many people have been offended and they have spoken in a manner they shouldn't have spoken. But the painful thing is that offenses will also make you lose what belongs to you. Offenses have made Abeiku, many people have lost what belongs to them because they were offended. I know women who left the marriage because they were offended. Men who left marriage because they were offended. Young men and young women who left the home because they were offended. As a matter of fact, by the time you realize, Ubedoma and Moa Adi. Monkey they work, Babu they chop. A lot of people are sitting today, and when you think about how you lost that boyfriend, how you lost that girlfriend, how you lost that relationship, how you left that work, how you left that home, you ask yourself, but the gun say in lekwen bele homo. It's a mini mentor. I would have acted different. But oh, how I love Jesus.
Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Because he first loved me.
For there is a name I love to hear. I love to sing. It is worth it. It sounds like music in my ears. The sweetest name I know. I love Jesus.
Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Because he first loved me.
A woman had just been married. And on the marriage day, as they walked to her new house, there was a grocery shop just before the new house she was going to be living in with a new husband. She was going to be 40 years old, few weeks after the wedding. I say, honey, I dear baku pet na me pair free wo ho. No could be penta or get your day. That on my 40th birthday, you give me an ornament. And this ornament is a necklace. A necklace. And the necklace is in the shop next door. I like the necklace. The husband said, "Uni how? Ni ame wo bia udia. No ni your fan bo. Oh no." But a week before the birthday, the woman passed by the shop and the necklace was still there. So she came home and said, "Honey, I told you this all I needed from you." The woman said, "The house is yours. Me, myself, I'm yours. Everything. I mean, what be out there? Now, necklace here. Only how. The night before the birthday, she went to the shop and the necklace was still in the box. In the showroom. So she asked, "Papa no ton again say mpacho me ko aba ha now." O say wan no oku. Obi am beto necklace bi free ho, and say obi am beto bi am free me ho. Na necklace no ba ko na mi na say bo nko na ewo, ne me won na ewo showcase nti ukun pese otode a just obeto wan beto ene dia na just no na obi ba meton ama no. Ma hon ham. Oh, how can my husband treat me like this? I told him from day one that this is all I needed from him for my birthday. And he said no. So he can't buy me a necklace. It is not expensive, just the beauty, the love. Say, "Nihu don't yet. I don't know I'm a woman unquanti." So she went home and she slept. On the day of the birthday, she knew the husband has not bought the necklace. Papa no thought necklace no man. So no, but to add insult into injury, he got himself a big Bible. Papa no for Bible kesiye pa. Na odi ko che ni yiri no. Ana patutu. Mami can say opedien Brian.
Necklace.
Papa nso kita dien
Bible.
The woman said, "I want a necklace from you for my birthday." And the necklace is in the next shop next door. And you bring a big Bible. "Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear sweetheart. Happy birthday to you." Wow. The woman is offended. She was so offended, she took the Bible from the man and dropped it on the floor. What kind of nonsense is that? I told you I needed a necklace, and you brought me this big Bible. What a disrespect. What a lack of love. She went upstairs, picked her suitcase, and left the house. She wanted a necklace from her husband. Her husband has brought her a Bible. She is offended. So offended, left the house, left New York City. The story says, and ended up in Alabama. She wanted to have nothing to do with this man again. She was 40 years old. She became 50 years old. She became 60 years old. On her 70th birthday, it was a surprise for her. The surprise is that the husband you left had died. And when he died, everything he had, he has willed it to you. Me? The man could even buy me a necklace. How can he win? I've left this man for 30 years now. I've lived single. I never got married again. I never had a child. Except that he has willed everything to you. The lawyers, the attorneys, whatever they call it, solicitors, barristers, they are here. They say all these documents show that the man has willed everything he has to you. Offenses will make you lose what you have worked for. So they carried her. They all traveled down to New York to go and see this facade. Is it a trick or a treat? They got into the house. They opened the house, and the Bible was still lying where she left it 30 years ago. On the floor in the living room. Say, look at that. This was the reason I left this house. This Bible. This was what my husband attempted to give me 30 years ago, and I thought that was an insult. I asked him for a necklace, and he didn't buy me the necklace, but he gave me this Bible. She was lifting up the Bible to illustrate to the people, and the necklace fell. Wow. If only she had had a little patience. If only Abeiku, if only she has had a little patience. The surprise was in the Bible. The many times, listen to me, don't let your emotions control your life. Never let the voices of men control your life. Learn to live in the God's agenda and not man's agenda. It's always good to have God's agenda than a good agenda. If only she had known that the surprise was in the Bible. At that time, it was too late. Offenses will stop your joy. Offenses will limit your excitement. At that time, the man was already dead. She too was 70 years old. It means she has lived unhappy all her life about something that didn't. I came to tell you some stories today that you live with. Stories about how people have been offended and have lost everything that belongs to them. This book on dangers of offense, Abeiku Santana, I started writing the book on the plane. I started writing it. If you read the introduction of my book by the title Dangers of Offense, I started writing it on the plane. The first story in the introduction was on a plane. I was traveling to Douala in Cameroon. The plane was to be connected from Charles de Gaulle Airport in France, Paris. I remember very well, not many of us were seated in the first class, the premier class that day. We had just about 5 of us. And this beautiful lady sat next to me. Very responsible. You can tell the way she was dressed and the way she entered, and the people even ushered her in. She must be a very responsible person. Then she asked for a juice. And the air hostess brought some juice. She sipped the juice, and then she took a handkerchief and I told you I needed orange juice. I'm allergic to pineapple. The woman said she's allergic to pineapple. So she gave the thing to the air hostess, and the air hostess went. But we were seated, and the plane had not taken off yet for almost 5 minutes. And to think that we've paid that much money to sit in the best part of the plane just to make sure, and she's not, it's so strange. She kept asking, the woman came back again and brought her the juice. This time around, Abeiku, when she sipped the juice, how dare you? I told you I'm allergic to pineapple. The first time, why do you bring me pineapple again? The juice said, the air hostess says, oh, anyway, juice is juice, so I just brought you back juice. I can bear then na yoya. I can bear then na yoya. After all the money she's paid to sit on first class, after all the effort there, and to say that it is Air France, that is annoying. And then she lost it. She took the glass and poured it on the face of the hostess. What the girl did was bad. But what she has done is worse. Offenses will trigger emotions in you. The whole essence of offenses is for you to be angry, to react in a manner a gentleman or a lady should not act. And most often than not, it catches pastors, it catches presidents, it catches prime ministers, it catches king. Even the laborer, it catches them. Driver, it catches them. By the time you realize the break of the driver, in fact, the cook, their approach, in fact, most of it catches singers, it catches preachers, it catches media practitioners, it catches lawyers. Then the emotions gets in, and then you begin to spill rubbish. No, kasa asesa. Now we ni asesa. Now we nanti asesa. Now we nima asesa. Na ebuo kakra nipa bibo ma ono. Na wa hwere ebuo no. Bule fio ni mekumayo ya boy. Ogbe bule fe wa hwere ebuo no. When she poured the water on the juice on the face of the lady, she just went to the cockpit and told the pilot. And the pilot came up and looked at the lady and said, "Thank God we have not taken off yet, but I cannot fly with you on board." That is where I realized pilots, they have program and authority. Pilots have such authority. There was a commander-in-chief on the plane. He said, "I would not fly with you." Security had to evacuate the woman. When the woman was leaving, it turned out that he uses a United Nations passport. She was a very big woman who was a resident director of UNDP in another African country.
Wow.
Offenses will embarrass you. Offenses will embarrass you. And offenses will reduce your authority. Offenses will make you a nobody. And Jesus Christ knew. That is why he admonished his people. Shedding na men suro. Shedding what Jesus mo. Wonyamia
Wusum no dada. Ono na obejiwo. Wunyamia wusum no dada. Ono na obejiwo.
You know what? It's a 9-hour flight, Abeiku Santana, from Charles de Gaulle Airport in France, Paris, to Douala. That 9 hours, everything that came to my mind, I saw offenses in it. I saw why some of us today cannot speak French. Because you go offended in classroom about some teacher or something. I got to know why some of us, we made promises and we could not become good footballers. We were offended. And I also realized how some people lost their homes, because they were offended. I saw how some step brothers and some step sisters have become enemies till today because somebody became offended. Say semi bobra pa
Nehutia
semi jai
bonie na semi papa minim se radi obedi kwembi amami.
Another thing offenses will do to you, that offenses will make you lose your friends. Some of you listening to me today, where is your best friend? I went to a prayer school. My prayer school is just here. It's traceable. I went to Harrow International Prayer School. Where are all my mates? Where were our mates in secondary school? Where are our mates in university? And some people will live in the same area with. Where are they? You sit back and you ask yourself, what went wrong? There are some people today that the only reason why you don't talk to them is that somebody said something that they said, that you were not even there. Offenses are transferable. Offenses, the emotions, they are transferable. That is why your grandmother can tell you that that's an auntie of yours daughter. Watch her. Your mother or your father or your uncle can tell you this person, watch it. The reason why there are family pains and frustration and fight is not because somebody did something. And sometimes you'll be surprised, even our parents and our relatives can transfer that thing to us. We share now be on your downfall. Now we be on your downfall. And by the time you realize you are fighting certain people, only because emotions and offenses, it spoils good manners. Evil communication. Two friends. I told you today I came to tell a lot of stories because I'll be praying for you, and I want you to see yourself. I want you to see yourself in this message of offenses, because offenses have destroyed homes, have destroyed families. Offenses have destroyed nations. Why do we have many wars? Because somebody got offended. Somebody got offended. That is why we have wars. But for offense, there will not be wars. And people's life, there are people today who have, in fact, some even people became slaves out of offense. Somebody became so offended about them, they started to sell them out as slaves. Two friends, as they were growing up, whatever happens, they say this one too is for good. Brian, I said this one too what?
It's for good.
If he said nyanyamia kasa obeye no
Edenara obeye Nyanyamia kasa obeye no Edenara obeye Onipa tumisi okwai Osefo tumisi anokwai Nyanyamia kasa obeye no Edenara obeye Onipa tumisi okwai na osefo tumisia no kwai nyonyamia kaso beye no eyedenara obeye.
Hear me, this story I've said it many years, and I'm saying it here again. Two friends, in fact, most funerals I preach in, I say this story. God, is a story that is potent anytime you say it. The two friends, as they were growing up, whatever happens, they say this one too is for good. Whatever. They grew up, and when they were of age, one became a king. Wow. How can my friend become a king? This one too is for good. So he went to his friend's house. He went to the palace to congratulate his friend who has become a king. Hey, Messimi dying. Wabotanso Metsumipo Namesinie Namini
Jesus betna
Oh
Messi midai Wabotanso.
I think this key is too strong for me.
Messi midai.
Let me try mine. Sorry. Messi midai Wabotanso Metumibo Nama Siniye Namini Jesus Betra Mercy me die Wabo Tanso. Brian, now let me tell you this. My singing is a gift. So I can sing B flat, C flat, D flat. You know, the organist asked me what key I use. I don't know. I can use G flat, W flat, Y flat. But once I pick it, no, then I'm not picking the cosa. So mercy me die.
Come on.
What button so? Metu me bo. Yes. Nama sini ye. Namini. Jesus betna mercy me die. So that is one prayer I'll be praying for you. Since I'll be traveling with you a lot now, you have to learn and pray how to keep my key. You see, somebody like a new kind, you understand new kind, I'll pick the key to somewhere and you bring it into it. Maxwell Boy also does well. Another person who can really bring my key back, that's why I must say this, the perfect of them all is Sonny Badu. You know, Sonny Badu used to be my praise and worship leader. I should travel around with him. He's my spiritual son, travel around with him. And Sonny Badu, if I pick the key like this, everybody say, Sonny Badu, mommy, okay, Poppy, I got you. Poppy, I got you. I got your back. Ron Cornelia Juanita Bynum. They look at Sonny Badu and they say, Sonny, how do you pick it from Lawrence? They say, no, I got his back. I got the old man's back. He'll bring it somewhere. Mercy me die. Okay, so now this is where you get it. When I pick it like that, don't sing. Pick the normal one. You realize will flow. Try it. Mercy me die. You see, you got it. Jesus betna mercy me die. So that's the key. Offenses. The king has received his childhood friend, and they have their slogan. This one too is for good. The king said, what babe who me now, what babe mama son, now babe encourage me, now congratulate me and say, I want to travel with you. I want to go to a hunt with you. I want to go out with you. I want to do something very unique with you. In 2 weeks' time, come to this palace and me and you will go hunting. Share. Me, ni, or he, ni, no. We are going to hunt together. Wow. The 2 weeks was up. Abeiku Santana, you can't believe what happened. He went to the palace, got his weapon, got everything together. He and the king, they were cleaning their weapons and getting ready to go to hunt. And the king made a mistake. Bah! The king has shot. Unfortunately for the king, he didn't kill anybody, but he shot his own thumb. When he screamed, Ajay! It doesn't matter who you are. President says Ajay. Kings, they say Ajay. Pastors, they say Ajay. Oh, we a nipa. We a nipa. When he lost his thumb, he expected his friend to help him. And the friend said, this one too is for good. What? It's your young choir. It's your dream. What's it there? I say, oh, king, my friend, my brother, my best friend, this one too. I said, yes, I can. I say, this one too is for God. When so this one too is for good. Got the guts. Because see away. In fact, the Bible didn't be get him and get rid of him. Put him into prison. How dare you? I just lost my thumb. And instead of you to agree with me, offenses can make you lose your friends. We have lost so many friends because we became offended. When one night down for power, we didn't in the same dormitory, we didn't in the nanti power on himself when you been fine. Over banner on the pano kasa. Omuhu we no maja kasa no. You know they stopped talking because they were talking about you. Even if they were not talking about you, when they saw you, the way they behave, you're upset. Your enemy always must be your friend's enemies. That is how we feel. So sometimes we are not realistic because emotions, I told you yesterday, have no intellect. So he carried his childhood friend, put him to jail. When the childhood friend was going to jail, he looked at the king and said, oh king, this one too is for good. Yeri tutu yenai, seno quantum for it all. Yeri tutu yenai, Senya kwantu for it oh. Me say yari tutu yanai. Senya kwantu for it oh. Yari tutu yanai. Senya kwantu for it oh. Yari tu kwanko Zion. Zion crow. Fefe so hona yebetra dada yeri tutu yenai sena kwantu fonito. You have to trust in God not to be offended, because offenses will block your vision. Offenses will stop your dream. And offenses will stop your joy. He threw his childhood friend into jail. And Abeiku, for 5 years, his friend was in jail. Madam for Abeiku. Madam for Abeiku Jamina ma yeni seni. His friend was in jail. And anytime people go to the jail and they tell a friend, into what done for bay or hinino, into near wire or near, say, don't worry, this one too is for good. I came to tell somebody here, it doesn't matter where you are seated today. It doesn't matter which part of the church you are seated today. It doesn't matter which part of the office you are seated today. It doesn't matter which part of the class you are seated today. It doesn't matter what your position in society is today. It doesn't matter where they've pushed you to today. It doesn't matter which corner they put you today. Don't get offended, for this one too is for good. Yes. For whatever, my Lord, thou hast taught me to say that it is well, it is well with my soul. He said, when peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, oh, whatever, my Lord, thou hast taught me to say, it is well, it is well with my soul. Hear me, child of God. After 5 years, the sore, the wound, a cronewu. Ohine no cronewu, a crone hobium. Inso a shrine takrem and ne pokromoti. A gontier large, a begonti don, fly bo, a cronewu on nicokromotibio. He wants to go to hunt. The childhood friend he had that he's been going to hunting with, where is he? He's in prison. So he decided to go alone. There's a gun song I like. Inkebo baya, Inkebo baya, Inkebo baya, dada. Oh me, Inkebo baya, Inkebo baya, Inkebo baya, dada. Ooh, da da da, minta male. Ola Jesu kewe befe. Inkebo baya, inkebo baya, inkebo baya. Da. He was in the forest going to hunt alone.
Okay, FM.
He was met by barbarians, cannibals. What do they know? Cannibals and barbarians. When they capture you, they want to kill you and eat you. They eat human flesh. So when they captured him, he said, I'm a king from so and so town. I said, oh yes, we can see from your hands, from the necklace, from the ornament, from what you are wearing that you're a king. But I started to say, nipa namno. Since we started eating human flesh, we've not been privileged to eat that of a king. And so they put him to a big tree and they tied him They were about to kill him when one noticed that the man who claims he's a king, he doesn't have a tomb. What a superstition. Musuo fu beni. Where they musuo. Ohini beni na oni kukromoti. Ohini beni na oni kukromoti. Na ne sano aye bibi sano. Na nti e dey no ye ohini. And now we dey yen. This meat we no go chop. As for this one there, it's abomination. This one is superstition. This one is a taboo. No. This man, no. Hey, me I won't chop it. This one say me I won't chop it. Oh, then if we will not chop this meat, then let's leave him. Unfind the Musu won't call the name. Leave him, untie him, let him go with his superstition. When they were untying him, then he remembered his friend in prison who said 5 years ago that this one too
is for good.
Say da, oh ye mami oh, da, oh ye mami, yes oh ye mami oh, da, oh ye mami oh, da,
oh ye mami.
Can you imagine? He went straight to the prison to go and tell his friend, I'm sorry to have brought you here. I'm sorry to have lost the friendship. I'm sorry. The friend was not offended at all. He said, why was I offended 5 years ago? What you said was prophetic. It's true. But for this tomb that I lost, by now would have been eaten. The friend said, you have nothing to be upset about. If 5 years ago you had not been angry with me, I would have been your friend. And when you were going to hunt, I would have gone with you. And when they noticed you didn't have a tomb, they would have noticed I have a tomb. So this one too is for good. You allow me to be put in prison, so my life will be preserved. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can have this understanding, you will not be offended by what anybody is saying. You will not be offended by people who are poo-pooing on you. You will not be offended by people who are insulting you. You will not be offended. There's nothing to be offended about. Who is who? Obia, nyobia, obia, nyobia, obia, nyobia, obia, nyobia. But niso ahwe popo
me po fa na me muwe firi peba.
This is what you need to do.
Na me muwa firi asafo Yehowa osoro ni asase yefo oritoko nona debiarada oritoko nana de biarada mema atrenyami obetie no beya mami.
So offenses, another thing offenses will do to you is that it will make you a killer. There are a lot of killers today. They don't realize they are killers. Esa se obu afu we yirintino wo kone honhom. Esa se obu afu wo yirint wo kontino wo kone honhom. A lot of husbands who are killing the spirit of their wives. A lot of wives who are killing the spirit of their husband. Because when you get offended, no communication comes from your mother. Is true. The book of Ephesians says, sin not, but do not let the sun go down on your wrath. A friend said, you have nothing to be sorry about. Thank you for putting me in prison for 5 years. At least that preserved my life. And today you and I can become friends again. That is why there's one account song I love. It said, "Me do se na wuti biara, se na nyame bo wuara, ufum so ne usuba nyina chiri no, me say me do se na wuti, me say me do se na wuti biara, se na nyame bo wuara, ufum so ne usuba nyina chiri no, me say me do se na wuti, banana na pam 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 pam." So it's a Saturday woman. Pana pa pa pana pa pam pa pa pana pam 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 pam. Another thing that God gave me as a gift is a spirit of humor. This message I'm giving is a very heavy message. It's a bold message. But God gave me a gift to deliver this message in such a manner that everybody can receive it and not from emotions. There are people who are still offended about the boy who punished them in secondary school. There are people who are still offended about the boy who took their girl in secondary school. There are people who are still offended about somebody who lied and insulted them. Move on with your life. Don't allow offenses to destroy you. Some things I put here the last time about offenses. Are you offended? Have people caused you grief? How would Jesus react to this? Friends are fighting friends. Pastors are fighting pastors. Presidents are fighting presidents. Kings are fighting kings. And everybody is offended. Say what offenses will do to you is will degenerate you, make you sick, and destroy your joy. And I said, harboring offenses will take away your authority. Number one, harboring offenses will take away. Yesterday I gave you 7.2. I'm adding another 7.8. Maybe I'll even make it 10. Harboring offenses will take away your authority. Having offenses, number 2, will make you lose your respect. To make you lose your respect. You are so offended. Your child, good morning. You are so offended. You are so offended you came to church and something is happening and everybody can tell that my wife is offended. My husband is offended. You are offended. You are so offended in the car. You got out of the car and your manners is destroyed. Offenses will destroy your manners. And these are spiritual things the enemy used to destroy your personality. Offenses. And Jesus told them, beware. But if you read from Genesis to Revelation, most people got offended. What happened to Cain and Abel? Offenses. What happened to Saul and David? Offenses. What happened to David and Goliath? Offenses. What really happened to Esau and Jacob? Offenses. What happened to Joseph and his brothers? Offenses. They were so offended the boy has had a dream. Ladies and gentlemen, men obey who boni. Na obey so dwen who boni a monfa. Let people keep what they think and you keep what you know. And don't you ever worry yourself to try to prove a point to anybody. I learned that from my father before he died 12 years ago. He said, Nene, my son, don't prove a name to anyone. And ladies and gentlemen, in life, don't expect everybody to love you. I'll be foolish and unwise to assume that as I'm preaching now, that many people are listening. I was happy when Abeiku Santana said that my story has attracted over 170-something thousand. Just the story I said. There will be some person in some village somewhere now, sitting by some small mobile phone, and just listen to what I'm saying, and is upset. But somebody must be upset. When we were young, we used to sing and say, "Hey, Eshaobo, hey, need the obewu, and no the obesu, no obesu obi anya Yesu, na wunti asia Eshaobo." Live like that. Live a life, and this is my life. I'm not bothered about who doesn't like me. Who doesn't like me will always be there. Abeiku Santana, there will always be people who don't like you. In fact, unkanda, onamni kwine, and also na unkrada, acquire homaso, acquire more dear, acquire. So you learn how to come to that place where you just give it to God. Just let your life we say nyami monyam or your hini. Hey, Musanyami ni monyam oyo hini oyo hini oyo hini oyo hini. Hey, Musanyami ni monyam oyo hini. Oh, Musanyami ni monyam oyo hini. Hey, Musanyami ni monyam oyo hini. Oyo hini oyo hini oyo hini. Musanyami ni monyam oyo hini. Oh, we give glory to the Lord, He reigns. We give glory to the Lord, He reigns. He reigns, He reigns, He reigns. We give glory to the Lord, He reigns. Offenses. I'm giving you 2 more stories, and then Maybe I'll leave it back to our brother Abeiku Santana to open the lines. Offenses will make you sick. Offenses will make you lose your loved ones. Offenses will make you very emotional. And offenses will make you lose your identity. It will make you lose your identity. That's the last story I'll be telling you. God, I almost lost my own identity because I was offended. How did I lose my identity? I was so offended. They said, "Are you Lawrence?" I said, "I'm not Lawrence." I'm upset. I'm upset. I was coming from Congo. On my way from Congo, this same Air France, they bought one-way ticket for me. It was very expensive. In fact, I preached this message at the Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship. In the year 2008, I was the main speaker for the World Convention of Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship worldwide in Florida, Orlando. But I've had a chance to speak twice as the World Convention speaker. I also had a chance to speak in a place called Yerevan. Who can tell me where Yerevan is? Yerevan. Somewhere there. Yerevan. By the time we finish, I want somebody to give me which country calls their capital Yerevan.
101.7.
No.
Czechoslovakia.
No. Okay. It is next to Tetteh. It's a place that share the same border. They share the Mount Ararat with Tetteh. Okay. We'll get there. By the time we finish, somebody should be able to tell me. This is a homework for all of you. Yerevan. And that country is the country that had the first church building in the world, built in the year 301. The first time, Oh, you are. See, he used this mobile phone to get it. It's Armenia. Armenia is between Turkey and Iran. And something interesting happened. All the over 500 Africans from Ghana, Nigeria, and Congo who were supposed to be going to Armenia, none of them were allowed to go to Armenia. I was the only person, black person, who was allowed to go to Armenia. We had even people like Dr. Kobranda, all of them were refused. The owner of Daku Farms. The owner of Fiesta Royal, Francis Owusu, his brothers, they were all refused. For everybody. The current president of Full Gospel, my very good friend, all of them were refused. I was the only person. So the Full Gospel have a nickname for me, Ghana Ambassador to Armenia. I was the only one who went, and I was the main speaker. It was a great thing. It is in Armenia that the first ever church was built. How was the church built? A man by the name Gregory went to witness to the king, and the king exhausted him, sacked him. When he came 15 years later, he had beard, and he came to stay to serve in the house. And by that time, they didn't realize it was the same person they sent out. And so they decided to, when they realized, they decided to put him in the pit. There's a pit in Armenia called the Gregory Pit. When they put you in that pit, it means your life is finished. They put him in the pit. In that pit, snakes that are falling are there, animals that are falling are there. So when they put you in the pit, therefore, and they just won't baby. Then the king, sister got sick and got cured. Unfortunately, the king himself, Abeiku, got sick. The king had a very bad skin disease. This, if you Google it, you can read. This story is on the net. So they asked him whether he would go to the pit to talk to Gregory. So Gregory, I threw him to the pit 15 years ago. He's dead. I said, no, he's not dead. Gregory was the one who composed this song. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. He's so good to me. Guess what? This song, you can sing it in every language in the world. This is one song that every language. Chi me
nyamiye, mi nyamiye,
oh
mi nyamiye, nyamiye, mami.
Any language you sing, whether it's Agbane, whether Dagati, whether Ewe, Nyemawunyo, Nyemawunyo, oh, Nyemawunyo, Mamawunyo, Nami, Mawunyo, Nami, Minyumohi,
Minyumohi,
Hungarian language which I speak says Hos istenyo. Hos istenyo. Hos istenyo. Hos istenyo. 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 Hosam.
Hosam.
Congo language that I speak Congolese language, say Izambe malamu. Izambe malamu. Izambe malamu. Malamu nangai. One of the things that God gave me was a gift of languages. You know, Hungarian language is said to be the third most difficult language in the world. One of the difficult languages in the world. When you end up speaking Hungarian language, other languages come. I have a gift of languages. So I speak languages. I I remember learning the Vietnamese language on my own. Speak Toyum, Anyuem, Penyuem. Wow. But this is God. And so I was coming on this plane again. I said I lost my identity. Almost lost my identity because I was offended. When you get offended, and let me say this to you, all this humor I brought in, even though the story a true story, I still brought it in a humor form. It's for you to come to that place where you will not listen to this message from emotional point of view. Yes, there's true stories I said. Yes, there are true jokes I made. There are true humors I made. But so that you will not, this message is supposed to bring you an awareness that a man will boom. And don't allow anybody to get you offended. At least if you know me very well, I know my mother, my father, my uncle. Look, hey, don't get offended about anything. The things you get offended about. My mother and my wife, they keep saying this thing that sometimes they want to have my heart. My wife tells me, my brother tells me, because me, the thing, if you insult me, I don't mind. The only thing is that don't hit me, because if you hit me, I'll hit you back. But as long as your mouth, you can get away with it. I don't care what people are saying. Look, see, who are the people who are saying it? The people are talking about, they've written something about, who wrote there something about you? You'll be surprised maybe just one person who has no life. One person who nipano krapwa, ubedu who said nipano ma utiti. If you read comments about yourself, I've seen some people write comments about some of us. Later, when you see the person, say, "Oh,
okay, FM 101.7.
Okay, Udi, I saw okay. Nanga me power sem kwa. Oh, okay. Timpacho with the bumper. Nanga me church or never for comment. Church. Pacho me to me no watch a picture. Oh, you okay? So you realize that, hey, we worry ourselves about nothing. Look, don't be offended. Don't get yourself destroyed. Don't get your home destroyed. And don't get another human being to destroy your joy. Abeiku Santana, I was coming back on the plane. Mama Langi has paid so much for me to get that ticket. And I thought it was too expensive. But the most painful thing, how I lost my identity, was that just at the time I was about to board the plane and I had my seat was 1C. This one, every member of my team members know this story very well because we went through together. I was about to sit when the air star told me that, Dr. Tetteh, sorry, you cannot sit on 1C. The pilot says when they go on autopiloting, that is where he wants to come and rest. Sure. Sika bebrebe idea twakai. How dare you? What do you mean? Abeiku Santana, what do you mean? It's not a compliment. Nkrani, catch yourself, what do you mean? And your compliment.
It's an insult.
It's an insult. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I had to go to Europe to realize that what do you mean means who's it where I've grown up. Okay, what do you mean? Can you say, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
Then I realized that, how dare you? I want to sit on 1C. We've paid so much for that ticket. And they said, oh, so where do you want me to stay? What do you mean? Where do you want me to stay? He said, you can only sit on 5C. Abeiku, walking from 1C to 5C is like walking from Accra to Bolga. My name is Ubuefuda. Ubibuefuada. Unanya dududu. You worry yourself. Why would the yare too or so? Hey, offenses, another thing offenses can do to you is that it gives you heart problem. They said that when you get offended, your heart bloats. And scientists says it takes more than 72 hours before your heart comes back to normal. So within that 72 hours, you are more vulnerable than HIV patient. Any sickness at all can catch you. Don't be offended. Don't worry yourself. Sickness will come to you when you are so offended and wounded and you are angry. When you are angry, your immune system drops. I want to live happy. I want to live joyfully. And I want to live long. I want to be called at God's own time. Hey, and hear me. This year's election year, don't worry yourself about so many things. Don't insult. Don't attack people. Don't look. Let's give our life to God and let God direct our lives. Don't be offended about anything. It's not necessary. If you know your God, hold your God. If your God is Allah, hold that Allah. If your God is Jesus, hold that Jesus. Hold that your God and rely on your God and let your God direct your path. But let us not be offended about anything. You won't believe what happened. I went to sit on 5C and the man seated next to me on 5C looked at me and smiled and he said, you look like somebody I know. And I said, you don't know me. I was offended so much, I've lost my identity. I've lost the humility that I have. I've lost the self-image that I have. I've lost my sense of relationship. I was offended. Then on top of it, I noticed that Papa no Boa, he was coughing. You look like somebody I know. Hey, from Congo, you are coughing. I don't know you. Then I said, are you a preacher? I said, no. I'm offended. Now, this message, I preached it in 2008 in Florida at the Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship World Convention, where I was the main speaker to the glory of God. Anybody who is a leader in Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship here knows. In fact, this book was recommended by the president of Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship, Richard Shakaria. So this book is dedicated to him. The Dangers of Offense. He cried. Everybody in Ghana who went, everybody in the world who went, he cried. Richard Shakaria cried and he said, Lawrence, I wish I had heard this message a week earlier. He had taken certain decisions before the convention because certain people have provoked him. And as a human being, he has reacted in a manner he shouldn't have reacted. He said, Lawrence, I wish I heard this message a week earlier. Anybody in Full Gospel Business level, and I know a lot of them are listening to me now, is not. The dangers of offense is one message that they know very well. So I say, you don't know me. Then he said, you look like a preacher. So I took the blanket and I covered my face. I don't want to talk to the man. And the man took the blanket from my face. Said, you look like Lawrence Tetteh. Then I look at him and I spoke to him in Congo. I speak Congolese language, I speak Lingala. I told him, na lembi mingi, na kolala muke. Now lembi means I'm very tired. Nakulala moke means I want to sleep a little. In other words, stop worrying me. I'm tired. I want to rest. Then when I covered my face, the man said, "Oh, sorry, pardon moi. That is a diamond dealer that has been watching Lawrence Tetteh on TV. The way the boy dances, the way he sings, the way he tells stories, he likes it. So he said to himself, anytime he goes to Europe, he'll look for Lawrence Tetteh and give him $100,000. That was the day I realized that Dodowa people, they are not correct.
Oh.
And Osu people too, they are not correct.
Oh.
Is he offended man? Offended man will always pass the blame.
Oh.
So now I'm looking at my mother's side, they are not correct. I look at my father's side, they are not correct. 100,000. Me too. I will not hide from you at all. It's better to be rich than to be poor. May God make anybody listening to me now rich.
Amen.
With better substance of money.
Amen.
So I took the thing off my face and I said, pardon moi. Kombo nangai Lawrence Kofi Tetteh. Say kombo nangai.
Kombo nangai.
Kombo nangai.
Kombo nangai.
Lawrence Kofi Tetteh.
Lawrence Kofi Tetteh.
Kombo nangai means I'm called a friend. It's a kombo. So kombo. And the Congolese language is a language Ghanaians have used in so many ways, but we don't realize it. Most of the songs the soldiers sing come from Congo. Zamenangana, 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 pelewa, zamenangana, na peu, zamenangana, 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 nabele, 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 sena, na zamenangana, nabele. Guess what it is? Abeiku Santana. This is a pure Christian song.
You don't mean it?
Yes. It means in Zambe Nangai. In Zambe means God. Nangai, my God will lead me through. My God will protect me.
Hey.
My God will support me. My God will guide me through. My God will take me. Zambe Nangana, Zambe Nangana, Zambe Nangana, Zambe Nangana, Zambe Nangana, Abele, 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 na Abele, na Zambe Namena, na Abele, na Bele means forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. My God will take care of me. Izamenangana, 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 Bele na Bele, izamenangana, na Bele. You know, I was invited to the Army Command, or the Army. They did an interdenominational service, and I preached and I told them this: the Army commanders, the generals, everybody like it. So most of them, when they see me, they call me Nzambe Nangai. Guess how Nzambe Nangai came? When Kwame Nkrumah time in 1963, the Ghana soldiers went to defend Patrice Lumumba. That was the time the soldiers learned this song. When they are going to the battlefield, where we call the war zone, they sing this song. And then words like Sakola, Sakola, Kosi, Sakola, Kosi, is preach on, prophesy.
Sakola Kose means
Sakola.
preach on.
Yes. Now,
I'm right.
yes. So when they say Sakola, so when you're preaching in Congo, in Lingala, they say Sakola. Zambe azali papa solona kumbangate. Zambe azali papa sakola solona kumbangate. Sakola zambe azali papa sakola solona kumbangate. Zambe azali papa sakola solona kumbangate. What it means is that God is my father. I'll prophesy this. I will say this. It shall come. So when the soldiers came, I was told the army commander at that time in 63, he didn't have any hair.
Okay, FM.
So when the soldiers came, Sakola, no, so Sakola Kose. But the Sakola means preach on, prophesy, shall come.
Wow.
So I told the man said, Lawrence Tetteh, if you were Lawrence Tetteh, I would have given you $100,000. Abba, what will you do? Offended as I was, I realized the offense will make you unwise. Offense will make you limited. Offense will make you struggle. And offenses will make you uncomfortable for nothing. And I told him, pardon moi, combo nangai, Lawrence Tetteh, donne-moi l'argent. Give me the money. I told him that Sikoyo na lembite. Sikoyo na lembite means now I'm not tired again. Sikoyo. Everybody says Sikoyo na lembite.
Sikoyo.
Na lembite.
Na lembite.
Na lembite. It means now I'm not tired at all.
I'm not tired again.
Sikoyo na kola latte.
Strength has come.
Sikoyo na kola latte. Sikoyo, I'm not sleepy anymore. Na lembite means I'm not tired. Na kola latte means I'm not sleepy anymore.
Don't sleep again.
Donnez-moi l'argent.
Bring the money.
As in Zambia, Pambulayo. Apambulayo means God bless you. In Zambia, Pambula Lelo. In Zambia, Pambula Lobi tomorrow. In Zambia, Pambula Libela na Libela na Libela. Bela means forever and ever and ever and ever. The man signed a check. I took my passport from my pocket. I gave it to him. Guess what, Abeiku Santana? I was fighting over 1C. God had prepared money for me in 5C. The things we get offended about will make us lose the blessings of God we have ahead. And I bless you. Don't get offended. And if you don't get offended, you see how God can bless you. I saw you play a key, and that key has another story. The song you're praising, Nara, Nara, Narekele,
Lemo.
Oh, Nara, Nara, Narekele,
Lemo.
He was born a stillborn baby, harvest grain. The doctor says he cannot live. His mother prayed and he lived. And today, look at what he has become. I bless you, child of God. I pray that these stories I've told you, coupled with the scriptures I've given you, will guide you so you will not be offended. Finally, when I had a check of $100,000 in my hands on my way from Congo to Charles de Gaulle Airport before I connected to London Terminal 5, I look at the man, Abeiku Santana. The man, even the coughing was not necessary. He's a good man. I spoke all the Congolese language I knew with him. I realized I was offended about nothing. I don't know who I've spoken to this afternoon. You might have been offended because somebody have said something concerning you. I came to tell you as a man of God today, the people who are constantly destroying your name, they don't matter. The people who are seeking your downfall, they don't matter. Let them write anything they can write about you. Let them say anything they can say about you. Let them deprive you in any way. Come to that place where you just have to look up to God and thank God for what He has done. Learn how to say, all to Thee I surrender. I pray in the name of Jesus that you be yourself. I pray in the name of Jesus that you stand your ground. I pray in the name of Jesus that you will not compete with anybody. I pray in the name of Jesus that you come to that place where you say, God, thank you for what you have done. God bless you, Abeiku Santana. God bless your audience. God bless the people who are listening to them from the crown of their head to the soles of their feet. I pray for every individual who has been offended, who is wounded, who is sick, who is frustrated. If you have lost your home, I bring restoration. If you have lost your job, I bring restoration. But above all, if through offenses you have become sick and depressed, I break that spirit of depression. I break you from that embarrassment. I bring you back and restore your life. I pray in the name of Jesus that never again shall your life will be destroyed because of what somebody has said, because of what somebody is saying. I bless you in Jesus' name. Don't be offended anymore. Look up to God as the author and the finisher of your faith. This is not just from Lawrence Tetteh myself, but a blessing from God. Maybe this is your message. Be blessed. Hallelujah.
We can't thank our Papa enough. As an international evangelist, preacher, a teacher, lecturer, and a mentor, economist, a healing, international healing evangelist and revivalist. The Abeiku is Unyankopon onshira onbon ho bai. Onfa wunchi amama nyina so baby a wonko ebi onfa okọ na oma na asem no enko wiase afa na nyina na akra eyira Unyankopon emfa oso entwe omo embre onu Unyankopon na hinie mu. Ebusuafo,
please help me do this. Help me congratulate my brother Dr. Kwame Despite. My brother, I love you. I'm proud of you. If I look at Brother Sapon, I look at Brother Despite, and I look at Brother and Special Eyes, these are young men that God picked from nowhere. Don't allow anybody to destroy your joy. I bless all of you in this fraternity. I bless you. Father Dixon, I bless you. I bless everybody here. In fact, my good friend I've not seen in a long time. I think it's also Kwame Sevakan.
I try.
Yeah, Kwame Sevakan. This one too is for good. He liked this story of mine. This one too is for good. He liked it. Anywhere he meets me, he calls me. This one too is for good. I bless all of you. Every presenter, I bless you here. Forgive me if I've not called your name, but especially Dr. Kwame Despite. God keep you and bless you.
Amen. Me patro upe eye book eye Dangers of Offense. Ebi ewaha na Reverend Dr. Tetteh ewaha. The next 1 hour oba Peace OKFM Abeka Junction ha. You get the opportunity say obe autography ama obe chro wudin wom na wa chro ni din wom na wa sign na ono wa twa emfoni. Na daddy, guess what? Before you even began your message today, a lady by name Evelyn Kwam, who is based in Sweden, has sent us a message. In fact, when I read the message, I said, this one, let me write it, because sometimes I lose the streaming and getting it back. You have to go. So I said, let me write this down. So Evelyn Kwam is watching us in Sweden, and she writes, I have ordered 4 books of the Dangers of Offense from your website. My eldest son will be 8 years next month, and I'm going to present it to him as his birthday present. But I know he's expecting Xbox or Nintendo. I know he will hate me for what I'm about to do, but I know he will thank me years to come. This was even before you told the story of
the necklace.
Wow.
This is way before. Now, if doctor can sign his name before sending the book to me, I'll be extremely happy.
I'll gladly do that.
My son's name is Liam Inshira Kwam from Evelyn Kwam in Sweden.
That's good as done. You know, I used to go to Sweden a lot. I used to go to Malmo in Sweden. And I go to Copenhagen and we cross the river to Malmo. Beautiful place.
And doc, yesterday, my wife sent a message. My wife in here will be radio, Papa, because no Osha office. Now she sent me a message yesterday that a friend wants your contact. Now Ubusa say, "Ukunube to me Eddie Amamia, man farmer."
From your wife is done. Give it to her.
I went home and Mekobusa and said, "Who is that friend? Who wants Dr. Tetteh's number?" Then my wife said, okay, so this is a mining engineer. We used to work together at AMS. My wife used to be with the mining. She has worked with gold fields and AMS, gold resources, and even before she joined APSA, formerly Barclays. Now, the man who is looking for your number is actually a mining engineer. And from AMS, he got appointment with a mining company in Tanzania. And he's watching and listening to us in Tanzania. So he sent a message all the way from Tanzania to my wife to get your contact.
So tell him Mongo ni mwema. That is Swahili.
And then the message is Sakola. And a Zamina Mina Abili.
And the word itself Nzaminangai.
Nzaminangai.
Omokano ntema na
Nzaminangai. And a Sikoyu.
Sikoyu now.
Okay. All right. Eti me paucho se wo pe eye book ni bia. Doctor ebe spending the next 1 hour ewo Despite Ship House building ewo Abeka Junction ha. Oba ye reception anim ho a obeba beto no onsa beka book ni bi. I'll read messages na ye de a friend for no ye be fa call 6 pamocho ye be fa call 6. Now so far video according to your social media officer Issue Chawe is growing. Over 28,573 people have been reached with over 142,000 views in just 2 days. And I know, sir, as people keep sharing and liking, the engagement in the Bekosro. So we believe that this encounter with Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tetteh will bring a transformation in your life. Now, we want to assure you in the name of our Lord and our Savior Jesus Christ that next week another great speaker is coming, and the week after next week, God willing, another great speaker is coming. Will you put your hands together for Jesus?
And let me tell your audience that every speaker that comes carry their own grace.
Yeah.
So wait for it. I will tune in next week to follow the speakers. And the thing is, I've been following this program, so
thank you, Daddy.
I know it's blessing people. So every speaker that comes here carry their own grace.
Thank you, Daddy.
Catch up with them.
Thank you, Daddy. All right, so your messages are welcome. Kwalingwa Nanakwa. Abeiku, can you let the website out so I can quickly get mine? Watching from New York, your website where they can get a book.
Okay, LawrenceTetteh.com. LawrenceTettehBooks.com.
LawrenceTettehBooks.com. LawrenceTettehBooks.com. LawrenceTettehBooks.com. LawrenceTettehBooks.com.
Or my website is miracletouch.org.
Miracletouch.org. Miracletouch.org. Yade momo number so betu gwa wo pebi no wo frɛ momo na ye be send e dia ma 0302243529 0302243547. Make out say yede encounter with Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tetteh ba awie a ye ne Deputy Director of Veterinary Services ebetwetwe nkomo ene one eye Mr. John Ajekum, the Managing Director of Jafanko Abattoir and Co-Store. Be careful what you eat. The meat or protein that you eat, the poultry that you eat,
has my very good friend. He studied in the East.
You mean?
Yes, he also studied in Eastern Europe.
Wow. The Deputy Director.
And the Managing Director for Abattoir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Awesome. Yeah, fuck calls in this here 0302243529 0302243547 UTA OK 101.7 FM Midin the Abeiku Santana. The show is produced by Godwin Dogbe and with the direction and leadership from our programs director, managing director Dr. Father Dixon and our general manager Mr. Kennedy Osei. Tetteh Ewa Bemakam. Hello Tetteh.
Hello, Abeiku. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you once again.
Okay, let's hear you.
And I don't know, I'm so much blessed this afternoon. I always want to give thanks for the life of Papa. I'm actually a full gospel member, Gateway Chapter. And before I joined the military, he personally encouraged me. I remember the last time I sat under his feet at Takama Presbyterian Church, one of his ministrations. And whatever he told me is transforming today. I always thank him that whatever spirit, whatever God has destined in his life to come to pass. And I am learning and following His orders.
Okay,
that God will also use me. I also want to use this opportunity to thank all Full Gospel members that they have also imparted something into my life.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Roberta Efrefi East Legon. Hello, Roberta.
Robert.
Sorry. Robert. Enka also, it's you.
I said, don't let another woman destroy your joy.
Mm-hmm.
This one too
is for good.
Papa. Me papa nyina se mpese nyankopɔ ɔnyɛ me te sɛ Dr. Lawrence Tetteh. Na me tumi kura me tumi ka nyame se me kira foforo. Nyame hyira mo.
Onyankopɔ be mana ba mu san so de ama. 0302243529 0302243547 prayer line. The word and worship. Anima miensa. Peace, our Tetteh. Hello, Peace.
Hello, Daddy.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Doctor.
Oh, sorry, we've lost Peace. But the message was clear. Unyankopon Enshira, Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tetteh. 0302243529 0302243547 Ute OK 101.7 FM Ekwansu Jojo. Prayer line, the word, worship and exhortation. And I de Ebro, Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tetteh from Monday to Thursday, and then yada Onyankopon say next week yada another great speaker eba osanso a worship and evangelist leader Obaya ewon sawom. Hello Obaya. Hello Oba. Good afternoon. Good afternoon Oba. Sorry, ya hwere Oba wa homane so. Obetumi afre 0302243529 Nana Glidey or Nana GLDY. Thank you so much. God bless you. You are watching us in New York. Okay, so doctors are here. Doc is here. Deputy Director for Veterinary Service of Ghana is here. And I think so. Mr. John Ajekum, the Managing Director, Edema Jafanko Abattoir, Ononso Ewaha. Yebabe Kasa Afa Enam Eni Aduane ho after your calls. 0302243529 0302243547. Meka osebo some Augusta yebe wura Nyankopon ya adom a ye de segment sonku bi eba radio so ebi nsi Ghana hada obi anye sa segment ni bi wo Ghana radio history mu da sa segment no the inspiration comes from BBC. Now, in the month of August, OKFM Drive Time is introducing a new segment. So the moon de biano, Yadi Sonko Eba. Now, any Ubesia dear Ubestrin so FM. Eric, our Fisa Pokia say hello, Eric. Hello, Eric. Good afternoon, Eric.
Thank you, Reverend. Now, it has been a blessed listening to Reverend. I'm sure it's and then the other man no zoom.
And then I'll catch you. And then I'll catch you. And then I'll catch you. Then what fat the message and then I'll be kai.
But I'm a kind of like offenses kill you.
Offenses can kill you. All right. Now Urefiko Krumutino. These two Matthew chapter 11 verse 2. This one too is for good. Bonnie be obiano. Catch on say this one too is for good. Thank you. Yeah, for last two calls. 0302243529 0302243547. Yeah, the Asidabema Vodafone Healthline Call Center. Say Omadaro Mama so muni adigmedie bro. Afe enapa foods, enapa mackerel, enapa baked beans, enapa sardine, enapa spaghetti. Derek Ewakaswa. Hello Derek.
Hello doctor.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yo, Pacho, and then was Sia, Effie, and Churchill, Papa, Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tetteh Dibre.
Monsieur, Papa, Ekasano, Papa, can be say, any God that you worship, you have to hold on to that God. Now, many adjects or cancer. But I'm also NCBB as in person can be sub or chairman, clear of that one. Or say, God, dear, worshiping, you have to hold on to that God. I'm person say, if you are outdoor worshiper and so on, and so holding on to that outdoor worship, Nana.
All right, obey Anwama. Yefa last caller 0302243529. Lydia Gifty Hagen, we are the head of number 1 FM 105.3. We say Yambomodia MP book ni bi Emma. I promise you will get one. Evans Ewo Osu. Hello Evans.
Hello brother.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon brother.
Okay, you too.
But I stand for Pinica and the attack master because Bonnie will be I just maybe no papier over fun is the bonus and person Yamisha for Papa.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very, very much. Sadia Midi Kai Ekayeno. Dr. Geoffrey Akabua. Dr. Geoffrey Akabua, Deputy Director in charge of Veterinary Public Health and Food Safety. Ewaha. Eye veterinary doctor Sawa Ghana nyina. Okwanche for Abedi Echire Deputy Director a Oshe Veterinary Public Health and Food Safety Ewaha. Na yeba be kasa afa aduane ho ni titiriu enam say ye beef meat ana poultry chicken ne de keka ho enam ayedie no sa ewo ensunsanso bone ewo yeso. What are the health consequences of unwholesome meat that we eat? Ya fer eye Ghana openi odin sachaye aba eye meat and poultry processing food mu. Mr. John Ajekum, the managing director for Jafanko Abattoir, Emma Ononso, or any training efi Europe, and Odiabe Abattoir Ewaha. Wachina Yenianum Kremofo, AD Ayasala, Idil Ada, Nainimsa Moberinam, by Bessamo se, Mobeshe, the source of a Namno Amorieno, Nankanko Fao, Hownin Susan, so Bonibia, Ambremo. So, Daddy, you will give us a final prayer, then we'll end it for today. But Obia, upese ushia Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tetteh no in the next 1 hour no or a ship house Abeka Junction. Obaha ubenya ni book ni bi ato instantly obe autography e the amount. Se ope book ni bi so na untumi mba me the momo number ebetudwa na wa frɛ sa number no o send momo na omo na obehwe na oma send book ni bi ama. A book that he wrote from an experience that he almost lost $100,000 on a flight. Dangers of offenses. The enemy's strategy to destroy you. The devil's strategy to destroy you. Wahwere niema bebre na mabufuo nti. Awade na wujaye no. Adwuma na wujaye no. Ansa no anesesa wode ma wa because of abufuo bi nti. Ofa wansa ho abufuo a ubiri wukuru. Sa wofa wansa na ho abufuo a ubiri wukuru. We've all been offended. We've all offended others. Offenses can be a curse. Some offenses can also be a blessing in disguise. How do you manage it? You need to grab a copy of this live transformational book, Dangers of Offenses. Some book way na me the 48 laws of power ho Robert Greene etroya. Meaning book bi amakanya. It has spoken to my intellect. It has provoked me and has exposed me. The dangers of offenses. And then Robert Greene. Coincidentally, I bought Robert Greene 48 Laws of Power in the year 2008. And today, say, when I sat alongside Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tetteh and Reverend Dr. Mrs. Joyce Ayi and Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, with the ambassador of Israel at the Israeli ambassador's residence, eating with them. Then it reminded me of the book I read in 2008. If a book is worth buying, then it's worth reading. If a book is worth writing, then it's worth buying. Obi experience. There will be a film. Obi a money. The book is a signboard. The book is a caution. The book a chrawo. Amani a ube shia wa brabum. But modia sa wonsabeka booki bi. Daddy, your final words and prayer.
I just want to thank God for every one of you. One of the people I forgot to acknowledge here today is Young Osei. I don't know his position here now.
Ken, he's the general manager.
Okay. Now, I knew Ken when I was a very young man in John Tetteh School. And so it's one person I'm very fond of. And when we see them grow to become this responsible, it's quite heartwarming and humbling. I want to thank God for every one of you. And I'm leaving with you 7 things. Number 1, don't get offended about anything. Number 2, don't follow your offenses to make you act unwisely. And number 3, remember, in any situation you get to, there's a way out through God. Number 4, depend on God solely when you get offended. And number 5, remember, just as you are angry with some people are also angry with you. So don't think you are the only person who is right. Emotions have no intellect. Learn to come to that place where you know that the same God who has been your source of inspiration in the many years past will also be your hope for the days to come. The 6th thing I want you to know is that learn to respect everybody's view. The reason why we get offended is because we become so selfish and self-centered. That is what has broken marriages, it has broken homes, and has created wars. And that is where we have missed it. Offenses will make you lose friends who you should have in your corner. And finally, the only way you can get rid of offenses is when you depend on God, who is the author and the finisher of our faith. Remember, anybody who relies on God knows. And hear me, sometimes not saying anything at all is more powerful than saying something. Sometimes being silent, in your silence, you speak volumes and trying to fight back. And don't react to anything that bothers you. God bless you. Before I leave, let me commend you that the gentleman who is about to speak after me studied in the East. Just like Dr. Kiche, he and Dr. Kiche all studied in the same Ukraine.
Wow.
And the Eastern Europeans, we have our own fraternity, very special, because the wise men come from the East. Hungary is 2.5 hours drive from Ukraine. And so Hungary shares border with Ukraine. So Ukrainians.
Wow.
Okay. Let me say this, that there are gods who don't have mouth to speak, and there are gods who don't have left to speak. Learn to serve God. The Bible said the beginning of wisdom is the fear of God. I will give my totality to God and not an idol, because God will lead me and protect me. An idol cannot protect me. Many people have served idols and it has no future, but serving God, who is the author and the finisher of our faith,
okay,
is the way out of life. God bless you.
Right, I want to acknowledge Mr. Richard Tre. Mr. Richard Tre is the marketing director for Africa World Airlines, and then he's also been accredited as Mr. Aviation of Africa, an aviation expert. And by the grace of God, you have received your aviation charter license that very soon Ghana aviation school airlines. This man is going to be your director. Thank you so much for also watching and listening, and thanks for the comment and the compliment. We really appreciate. It's always pleasant and refreshing to hear from such great, wonderful people that you listen to us and you give us feedback. Thank you so much. Let me also acknowledge
Abeiku,
Brian Kufuor.
Don't lose this calling. Don't lose this gift. There are many people you are very helpful to, and a lot of people are taking inspiration from you. I can tell you that from where I come from. Please don't lose it.
Thank you.
There are a lot of people in this generation that want to connect with Abeiku Santana. Please keep it up.
Thank you, Daddy.
Because you are the future leaders.
Thank
I
you.
want you to know you've done well so far.
Thank you.
I give you 100%.
Thank you, Daddy. God bless you. Thank you so much.
We're talking about Brian
Kufuor. Your Brian Kufuor nyum bebre wa ha. Ye bebobo. But Mr. Can we get the number for the Momo? Momo no omo pese omo etobuk ni be from the Momo. Please let me
020 81 53 934 and 027 10 64
770. Pacho upe book ni bia fre 020 815 3934 020 815 3934 020 815 3934 or 027 106 4770 027 106 4770 onsa ebekabi yeda Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tetteh yeda na sepa 4 days encounter with Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tetteh on OKFM. Next week another amazing great speaker. Eba, watch out for the great speaker for next week, and the week after next week, God willing, another great speaker is also coming. But right about now, after our commercial break, the Deputy Director in charge of Public Health and Food Safety at the Veterinary Services of Ghana, Dr. Geoffrey Akabua, Babetrin Komo, Afa Enamo Ayedie, Enamo Ayerie home. The dangers and the consequences of the animal protein that we consume that we don't know the source. Now, Yensaka, a transformational leader of our time. Openi odin sachayen sisaya bagana. Yenam edianimu. Ora John Ajekum. Kufuor Penenkanidi unkoye president. The managing director of Jafanko Abattoir. These two great resource persons will help us to address the issues of food safety and the consequences of eating unwholesome meat or unwholesome protein where we don't know the source that is coming from. Once again, here they are Sedabema Utumfo Nyankopona Ebin Koma, your managing director, the godfather of Ghana show business and media, Dr. Father Dixon Na, and to our general manager, Mr. Kennedy Osei, for providing us with leadership with integrity and service with humility. Leadership with integrity, service with humility. The show is produced by Godwin Dogbe and heavily assisted by Mauli the governor, a graduate marketer, my staunch Liverpool brother, and the director of my music gospel, and DJ the young boy. I call him the boss because he dined with the boss. Yeah, DJ Young Boy, the richest DJ in Ghana. Meeting the Abeiku Santana. You can still watch us on Facebook, OK 101.7 FM, with all your thoughts, your comments, your impressions, your questions, and get to know all the nuances of the issues or subject that we are discussing. Dr. Geoffrey Akabua is seated with Mr. John Ajekum. The Samomian Tian Kratwe na Yantuaso, me pacho eye enapa foods ede eye mackerel, ene eye sardine enam aba. Se wo jollof, se wo stew, se wo ye banku na wo pe mackerel. Se wo ukodwomu a hwehwe enapa mackerel, ene enapa sardine. Kai se eye oil na wo enapa sardine ho no ɛyɛ omega 3 nti ɛbɔ wakoma ho ban wodidie no na wonya apɔmuden ɛnapa food deɛ apɔmuden ko a ɛyɛ soko afei Vodafone Healthline Call Center nyankopɔn hya yɛmbɔ yɛn nsɛm ma Vodafone foɔ COVID-19 coronavirus by Vodafone for afa doctors and nurses say omonhwe Ghana for free and found in network we use but say we use Vodafone na for 255 say we yare ho aye hye utiya oya wayemre o temperature ba Vodafone Healthline Call Center eye adwuma no pa 8 a.m. to anwumre 8 p.m. doctors and nurses ebeje all your concerns na omahwama me pacho for Vodafone Healthline Call Center ewo 255 so yare bi e ha obia no on be hwe ayama after the new improved Heaven insecticide spray ne Heaven black mosquito coil. The best way to kill mosquitoes these days a Heaven insecticide spray ne Heaven black mosquito coil and kan kawa water tina bonti anajo in the night in the evening. So wo pesa wo de ho free ntontom ntafre en wansena ne ntatia o ton ade na wansena besisi so na enye hwehwe Heaven insecticide spray Heaven de ba ko pe me pacho importers and wholesalers of PPEs personal protecting equipment any face shield association NKSA. Now, the general public should be extra careful when buying cheap fake shields. Now, we have cheap face shield in town. And your face shield now muhuni na papa. Ebi Nigeria heya ebi nsufi Benin. Enti ukoto face shield they are protecting coronavirus no. Na ekwa umfonia send ko demonic word. Muheni ye pap. The importers and wholesalers of PPEs and face shield association NKSA, they have been informed that enkrofo our large quantities of face shield and maybe which is under investigation. Enti ebi no ton a face shield bi ane boa fofofo ebi ye krono de ebi nso amakowia and ebi nso enya papa. Enti government institutions any ankrankre bi a mo pesa motor face shield any PPs mo pesa your customized branded edemamo with your company logos say your schools immigration police churches banks filling station or fuel station Ghana for importers ni wholesalers a ton face shield omo betumi aye de kama de amount e patcho frɛ kwashi courage kwashi on 0243 840-216 0243-840-216 or you can also call Honey Abba Awotri on 0551-233-609 0551-233-609. Buy quality face shield from the association. It's 15 cedis. Whether plain or customized, it's 15 Ghana cedis. Now there's big sale going on. A big discount. Oto underwear ma wo yire ache. Oba enti da ben na oto singlet kra che wukunu. Wo de bia na wo je, wo de wo ma de aya acha de. Aha Intimate ran an amazing sale marathon from Friday, August 7th, to Sunday, August 9th. Aha Intimate, Accra Mall, West Hills Mall, and Achimota Retail Center. It is a per boxer shorts, per comfortable nighties for ladies, per classy men underwear, and now say per modern modish pajamas, PJ, for that perfect gentleman. Ope bibi di achebe maybe ne birthday. Who dia won fan channel. Bra Aha Intimate. Ewo Accra Mall, West Hills Mall, and Achimota Retail Center. Afei nso wasanso ton crafted distinctively jewelry. Wobetumi atwere wo kunu wo ba wo yire wo nua wadamfo ni din ade agu jewelry ne so. They cater for all sizes. O pocket bia. Afei wo pe free delivery outside Accra. Aha intimate. Se brand beji fashionable brazier bra. Brabeji fashionable ladies underwear, comfortable one. Open quality panties, boxer shorts, brief singlets. Aha intimate. This one too is for good. For 020-8800 020-8000-800. Aha intimate. Brought to you by Aha Brands. Buy more and save more. The last two commercial information, then I welcome my guest. Tap. Yes. Tap it fast. Easy and safe. Contactless. Tap it fast. And now, COVID-19, please avoid touching. Avoid touching. Because of COVID-19, coronavirus, memfa wonsa enkeka niema. Eninti na Absa Bank, the contactless card aba. Your friend, the Absa vertical debit card. Yes, Absa contactless Absa vertical debit card. This eliminates the risks of contact in every transaction. It's simply a POS, where your point of sale device. Na unya o Absa vertical debit card na. And one sa with the card na chere machine so na apeke. Enti uko shop bia na Absa POS wo ha. Ukra wo Absa vertical debit card na. Ube se barcode bi wo ho. Wo de be chere so. Umbo pin kura wo. Wo de chere so pa kwekwe na atisi karama no. Who here who pin, who here swipe. When your friend Absa vertical debit card. Apply for your Absa vertical debit card today for all your contactless payment. That is Africanacity, and that is Absa. Your daily and transaction limits comes along with it. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, visit the website www.absa.com.ga. Absa, and that is African. We're talking about eating unwholesome meat or eating wholesome meat, the best approach. Eating wholesome meat. What is the best approach? So very nam. So one kasa no wato wa punch na ube kunu. So one wakoto udwan na ube kunu. E kwan ben so nesesa wo fa na wo ye mane ye kama. Now, the establishment of scientific commercial processing of meat into products such as sausage, ham, luncheon meat, canned beef dates back in the 60s. Ghana had near Boligatanga meat factory, and no any SSR and a Gihawk meat product factory. It was commissioned in 1965. Now, Ghana near year canned beef. I am it is a beef friend corn beef, and your corn beef. Over say corn beef. Pacho on for corn beef kakra go say Debbie, you need corn beef. A canned beef. Ni ye bi wo Ghana ha. Boligatanga meat factory in 1960s. Around the same time any UAC for also a pig processing plant be and a friend ice company. And after yenya Toro Ghana Limited. Na no so Accra. In 1970, yenya Premium Meat Pickers Limited. ɛno na ɔmo sesa din no bɛyɛ no Pioneer Meat Industries Limited. So we used to have meat processing companies in Ghana. We used to process meat in Ghana. Ebane saying, and as I say, ni nyina ira oko supermarket imported and yemai. Meat forms very important component of our human diet, and it's a major source of protein and nutrients. Now, Ghana, your meat consumption has increased over the years because domestic production cannot meet demand, and into ebinu import it, which also has consequences on our GDP. 80% of diseases caused by meat bacteria during mishandling. Aya yade bebre ni penya efadodo na free enam aye diemu ni titiriw ene meat enam kwan a butchafo ekum nam no ene kwan a omofa so e process eton. In the year 2007, meat consumption for Ghana was 34 grams per person per day. And the meat consumption of Ghana increased from 31 grams per person per day from 1992, from 34 grams per person per day, and 2007 it was growing. So your meat consumption has an annual growth rate of 4.55%. Even the global consumption of meat is expected to rise to nearly 73% by 2050, according to the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, which stated this in the year 2011, December 14. According to the FAO report titled The World Livestock 2011, an expanded world population will be consuming 2/3 more animal protein than it does today, bringing new strains to bear on the planet's natural resources. Itiene ye ba be kasa afa enam ayedie ene esunsun sanso a ebenya ewo yapomuden ho. Dr. Geoffrey Akabua is the Deputy Director for Veterinary Services for the Republic of Ghana, in charge of public health and food safety. Mr. John Ajekum, I am Managing Director at the Jafamco Abattoir and Co-Store at Ewo Madina. Let me remind you that we are live on Facebook. Into a question be ube to me to your Facebook. Okay, 101.7 FM. Well, let me welcome Dr. Geoffrey Akabua. Doc, thank you so much for accepting our invitation to join us on this all-important subject. Thank you for coming.
Well, that's my pleasure.
Yes. Please get closer to my microphone for me.
Good.
Because you have a great voice and want to hear you audibly.
That's my pleasure.
Thank you so much. So let me give a little profile of Dr. Geoffrey Akabua. Dr. Geoffrey Akabua is the Deputy Director of Veterinary Services for the Republic of Ghana. He's the head of Veterinary Public Health and Food Safety Veterinary Services Directorate, Accra. In the year 2016 and 17, Dr. Geoffrey Akabua was the Integrated Animal Health Specialist Volunteer in Ghana for VWB and VSF Canada. He worked as the VWB and VSF Canada volunteer with GAPNet, that is Ghana Poultry Network, to train smallholder farmers in various communities across Ghana and veterinary technicians on laboratory poultry disease diagnostic. Now, in all, Dr. Geoffrey Akabua trained 48 veterinary technicians and veterinary students, 26 women and 22 men, intensively in laboratory poultry disease diagnosis, gross pathological diagnosis, that is necropsy of common poultry disease, both theoretical and practical. And with such a great wealth of experience and expertise, it's important to note that we also have here the man who has brought a major transformation in our protein, both meat and poultry processing in Ghana, Mr. John Ajekum, CEO at the Johnny's Food and Meat Complex. Johnny's Food and Meat Complex. And on a trinity, a friend of Jafamco Abattoir and Cold Store. Now, he's a German trained butcher. Upon his return from Germany, Ofri Germany by no, and Obehu said, Ghana, your slaughterhouse. Ukosha once na ho kan chese tie ni additional I say and no man nipa bedie ni any say hey and then biaba and yet sa yade akum nkrofo bebre wele nkrofo awiegu ache so yade nko a eti papai every Germany buy no and wabesi the state of art abattoir and cold store facility with an international standard slaughterhouse, cold store service, warehouse operation, any distribution of agricultural commodities. Oya Juma wa Germany from 1990 a free 1994-95 of the year director the Johnny Renegans Service, Johnny's brand currently CEO at the Johnny's Food and Meat Complex. Aye Chanitia a friend Jafamco. Chama yama also akwaba
Abeiku meje also.
Good. All right. Eti yabesha yankomo twetwe na say now start with Dr. Geoffrey Akabua as the Deputy Director of Veterinary Public Health and Food Safety. What are some of the common public health diseases that affect our animals, especially the domestic animals like, goats, sheep, and the cattle that we see on our streets? These are common animals we can find, and these are also the protein food that we buy from the market. What are some of the common diseases that are found in Ghana?
Thank you very much, Abeiku. Permit me to approach it this way by, first of all, starting with what specifically constitute food safety hazards. Then we narrow it down on those diseases, if you permit me to go along that way. Food safety hazards are classified into three major groups. We have physical hazards. You are talking of those hazards that enters the meat during the processing, when the butchers are cutting their meat, when they are processing it. We are talking of bones. We are talking of wood particles. We are talking of insects, etc. Then we come to chemical hazards. There we are talking of residues of pesticides that these animals graze on. We are talking of residues of antibiotics, hormones that we inject into these animals. We are talking of PBCs, heavy metals, PVC, I'm talking of these lorry tires, etc., heavy metals, and so on. Then come to your question, the biological hazards, the diseases of public health importance that we have in animals in our dear country, Ghana. We are talking of anthrax, very dangerous disease. We are talking of brucellosis. We are talking of bovine or zoonotic tuberculosis. There are two types of tuberculosis, human and animal. We are talking of animal tuberculosis. We are talking of cysticercosis and host of others, all constitute diseases of public health importance. Abeiku, permit me further to state here that over 150 diseases are zoonotic. What do we mean by zoonotic? They are diseases that humans can contract from animals, and vice versa. Out of this, about 65 of them are parasitic. So when we are talking of hazards of biological origin or common diseases of public health concern or interest, we are dealing with a very serious issue. Thank you.
Abusafo meye enchechemu kakra izanse ohwe Dr. Nidin Dr. Akabua na se twi kano ebede man kakra na owura John Ajekum de o start kasa won se akwete se me fan se na naje sika pa onya ne ba bi kwa na se na na akese obebu be nyina afram eti edu ne so a obeka Dr. Geoffrey Akabua achiremu se food safety ese nam ene aduane ayedie no yowu ahodo miensa nchichemu miensa physical hazard, chemical hazard, and biological hazard. Na ni nyina ni nchichemu ni se ye ka physical na chese de edi ani hu, chemical enuro na biological de ye de wo emoa no anase omobobre. Na ye hwe physical no a wo hwe kwan a ebinum fa so ye nam na emwa wansene gina so na endua krampo mo ye na bi akohyehyem ka tai no mu ne ade nyina tu fra nam no nti enam a wakoto no ebi efini ne ma bi aiden akeka ho akohye enam ni mu eno da nchen a endua ye spray ewo moa no ho eye pesticides no eni nduro bu ye de ma moa no kra antibiotics no ni nyina nso ekoka eye niema eha ya pomu densi ekudi sa enam no a ebi ne lorry tie no mu ne de ekeka ho no na ne kasam no okira ya wo yade bebre a nipa enya free enam mu ya wo yade bebre nipa enya free enam mu be se 150 diseases na obobo emoa ne yade bi ye anthrax a very dangerous afi brucellosis any tuberculosis nipa tuberculosis no emoa so tuberculosis any cc sclerosis ne omobrofo ne de mesramo mintumi nka na okira yade yi emoa ne betumi de amanipa na chese obi afa yade bi a aboa bi yare a na se wukodi aboa na oyare na ukọwi nam bi ana aboa ne yare a ubetumi anya yare bi. How dangerous would a disease that affected an animal can affect human being? Doc
Abeiku, diseases that affects animals can affect human beings in various ways. When we come to anthrax, as we said, if an anthrax infected carcass manages its way into the human system, that is the end of that person.
Wow.
That is the end. That is the number of people who consume that meat are going. That is why there is a Latin saying that human doctor treats mankind. Human doctor treats human beings, but veterinary doctor treats mankind. The explanation of this further is that should tuberculosis infected carcass gets to the public, let's say 1 cow, a carcass, how many people can you imagine that will consume 1 carcass? And how many people, therefore, do you imagine that are going to be infected with tuberculosis? We talk of brucellosis, assuming by error or whatnot, a brucellosis infected carcass gets into the public. Abeiku, can you imagine the number of people who will become impotent, who will have miscarriages? Number of men who will marry for years without offsprings.
Hey,
yes, leading to divorce, etc.
And
I'm talking of bovine tuberculosis.
Bovine tuberculosis.
Sorry, bovine brucellosis.
Brucellosis.
And we get it from the milk as well.
Let me explain it. Deep, Papa.
Yeah.
Doctor say. Maybe a sabi or meme who are no more quatia who every number or quarry. Wa baby a one every number or quarry. Sabi. Abua no crampo yade na ye no. Ne ho make crampo se wo num mpo a etumi etwa wawo e de yade ebro. Na cha se nam wa yare no. Se yenim source baby efiri ba e won sunsuanso boni pa. Yo, ma membra di okum na mo e. Ora John Ajekum. Jafamko. Apani enti ba ne sen na wodi Jafamko e ba e na mode eye veterinary for abetsi mo abatwa ho ansa no makunam.
Yo Abeiku we de medasi bebre wasoma wo say. Me fa kwanya we so achia watiefo nyina obi a wotie okay FM. Abi nyamishira obebre wonne sa watu afre ne doctor ye mechire nemu. Fi se eya kwanya kese ne sa ya desua kese pa. Abi me fa kwan we so asa abo abaso. Me ka wo pa me fra kwantu mu e ba first Ghana. Sabre no na wo another
Adum FM. If you kwaso. Wow. You took kwan na radio station ni hosa. But the buyer na utia be send you work. Wow, this boy is too much. Enti ene enya me wanwa. Nyankopon adom.
Say wo hunye asie no wa hwehwe me say ne membra met awradi nshira obebre mfi say
onshira won so
wadwuma no nyame de wo bako akiri
medase
sane na sofopanyi eka no
asidanka nyam
obi a wo adwuma pa bia wakatua pa wi asesa na nyame ahyehye no abe mfi say wabusa asempa o de doctor kaye no wakasa enoma bebre wakansem bebre ba abe say me ba Ghana me hwe enoma bia ya na obai tampa wo se ne nsuru mu oba time bia o ya papa oba o won kwala wa wo bebre no no de ne sai bo ne yem se ne nsuru abe aden na me nsuru tese wo hwe kwan a Ghana ha ye processing namna abe is very 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 dangerous eti ya na me kase enti ye my way pa ye da ache no sai netie akoda bia wo sua nwoma wa ben wonimade obetimi abaye titine bi adiketua bi beyi sa akora da firi ho adiketua enam bia okɔwe ya nani na no so abe mami fa we ni kai ekromo ha hwɛ mo wache bebreba mo we kawro na ɛda wache
mutie ni o wache bebre na ye die no wele na ɛda so no
abe wo ka enipa Ghana mami ndika ade baako
yempe nokure
yemu ade
enu so na ha ye na he
problem Ghana de me hu ye na America nokure ye baako me de mahu no se wo hu no kwan foforo so abe wo sempa
abrochefo no mo ba ye se mo ye tu no nti
abe da bi enye tu no de ekosu aye de ye hu na ye kan na ye abe yemu ade ye nsuru ade ye mfa hwe hu bibia anya ya sem na ye kosa na hwe kwa ye ko no ubo hu se ekosa ebeko akoka abekan na ebesre aban a wote so ne aban bi a obeba yesre mo ye di nyame din pa akyɛw ye duane nko ade yesre mo hwɛ ne yie man nsu a enoma ekoya ya mu no dane ti wutie nsema doctor kan ya na unsa wo adwiro abe ni nyina ya no korɛ hwɛ kawuru asɛm American kawuru egu wache so bebebe a ya ewe no abe busa sɛ saa kawuru no ehimfa na ye toto no ehimfa
wele na wo kɔtɔ wacha wele na wo kɔtɔ wacha wo gye no mami wele mami talia mami we saa wele no ehimfa ɛna ye toto no efi ɛdɛ na ɔmo de toto saa wele no wabusa ho
abe ukɔ shop akɛseɛ no paa na busa wɔn sɛ ehimfa na ɔmo kum wɔn nam ukɔ shop akɛseɛ na yɛahyehyɛ nam no sokogu hɔ na busa wɔn sɛ kobusa nipa sɛ ehimfa ɛna ɔkum ne nam no abe obi veterinary doctors me no makon saa but as we to no person obi ameye adwuma enye me ho na me person obi ameye wo na mum se ye fa kwantre ebia na me babi me bɔ no ho ka ekina bi na aduane okodi no suku ana aduane okodi na bonten no na de ka foforo abeto me so abia akwara nyame afafi a wanye yare fo obehwere ne nkwa na hifa na ye kɔ abe ye nam bebre ye wi ne Ghana ha no sebe enemri anibia ba hifa ena yede tire etoto nam se nipa da se ne nkɔwe unso oboboye okay ye no ama ne bene na tire no no wa ben dada chemical bi ewom no aben dada eti se wo no anam no ma ne ben sadia wo bawi akire wo benya yare a wo benya ne dai wo benya cancer first no me cancer mrante ni enim cancer wo Ghana but ene ye den na cancer wo ho abe hwede ye wo gifanko nipa bebre a start esesa obi bana veterinary doctor ancheke ne nam no kora o ma wonko no abe ebi so ye tuno papa o mpene da veterinary scanner o je no wonte ase na ye den but unim say ye nkyerɛkyerɛ ye hwe ena ne say ye namu saa na se be ye kɔ
enti wo fi abrochire bae a wo behu say ye de tie etoto nam no how
abe unim ena meka no me behu ye no what de meka say what because me so na me wo Ghana ha bi samre na me hu ade papa saa sebe abrochire obi kraman a oye no aboa no wo fie no o manu ndi aduane a obeyare na fie wura na bɔ no ka na watam na ko doctor ko boka you don't have that time ti be wem say what ade we dey de metimi aboa na be nyame to me nsem nyame ye madom wo hwe me profile na me am ye madwuma wo ho abato ya na di mi bedru nti me nya ska nam se meye abe me catch on challenges and no ma me come na you can't believe it upa de palma abakotoko no na ye wa bro ndi pa bebre mpe
but yambo abaso because Namete Committee 18 Committee 20 minim abattoir na ewo ho the government of Ghana abattoir. In fact, first na super my late uncle Mr. Simpson managed the abattoir, may he so rest in peace, for some time. Inti na me ko iti abattoir na the minim the state of the abattoir. In fact, the animal husbandry Nungwa farms. I used to drive over the footbridge on the motorway way back before Mube Bubuno. It meaning the abattoir. No. But with time, me who say, Una Mabuatua Honma, Ubehu impete ni a friend say, crow. Kwakwa de biru no mujeja ka bakro monko because omo beso sonam. And we know that these birds can also transmit, diseases. Now, Doc, tell us the processing, the way we prepare our meat, the way we kill or slaughter. What is the best way?
Yeah, Abeiku. The best way of slaughtering meat, slaughtering animals to become carcasses and meat. There are laid down regulations two major things are done when animals are brought in for slaughter. we carry out what is called anti-mortem. Before death. Before mortem, death. Before death. What do we do during anti-mortem? There are diseases which you can hardly find. There are diseases which you can very hardly find in the carcass itself. That's after the animal is slaughtered. It will outwit you, get into the system, and trouble. As I said once again, you can imagine the number of people who will be affected. So the laid down regulation is that you carry out anti-mortem, trying to look for certain things which I wouldn't like to mention here. Why you do that? You are advising somebody to go and carry out slaughter and will miss the point and die. But there are laid down regulations.
Okay, thank you. Hold there for me.
For anti-mortem.
Yes.
Then we move on to the post-mortem.
Okay. But your anti-mortem and some your post-mortem.
Exactly.
It's anti-mortem no de obehwe aboa ansa na wakunu. Post-mortem aboa na wuawie no ansa na akohwe de ewom. Good. Yehu say nantwie na gu tracks mu na firi nof na ba na gu kamu ene ukọ aboso kaya ebiguo ukọ new plan station enwan ni mponchi si egu a ukọ na akota ubona so ohwe ni su no atu se ne ho eden na wafa no aboa bi wa wafon obi won so a oso Mr. Jodajeku una wo tom boy ye be den ye de ye sabi ye say oh the area akukwa na di ba akukwa bo me de mani krodo boy be den be huza boy wo wa ho de yade ono ana yade di no
abe me ma kasa kwa chiri ifi say enche kura be afintem ani ena obidi ne nantwie bae ahomache omukum no ena doctors no ehun say aboa ne yare tuberculosis ena butcher na odi aba no wakoto ni nantwie ebia make us say 4,000 30,000 you if said the auto no na doctor no ebe say nam no omo chemical bia e basa omo de guso akwa ne say wallahi talai eno de enka de besi wo so the quickly call me say memra na asemo ya aba eti wo say me tumreka na me be pe kwan akwa no me fa so a meboa no ye betu nam na gu wo say doctor ya kasa no emwa yare no edoso papa nantwie ni mponche ni ndwan omu yare no doso papa it is a doctor no aboa no ba omu hwe no ansa na omu da bia je fan ko mu yemienu ba ko be inspection na hwe sa aboa no tesen ansa na ba ko so wo inside ya pai aboa no mu no ogina ho onu na ehwe se yare bia se yare wo mu a ya pai no mu na ohu wo no nsu no ena na hrawa no so enti we tibi no mitumrika frifie ebai ebe jojo akwa no nebo epesi kama no sa anye sa enka wo de ko market abe na wunnim hwe wo yiri nnim hwe unnim baby enam no free na nam 20 cedis so 10 cedis a wo kotoye no dachi uboboka millions a wo sayare na enkoda ebi wo ne bebe
ye besa ba jafamko na watchre said mo munam no but Mamimbra Deputy Director of Veterinary Public Health and Food Safety, Dr. Geoffrey Akabua. Now, Doc, so do we have laws in Ghana that are mandatory that before animals are slaughtered, veterinary officers must perform the anti-mortem or any other veterinary check before the animal is slaughtered and processed and sold on market for consumers to buy? Do we have any existing provision or legislation?
I mean, this is a very, very good question. I love that.
Abeiku,
do we have any existing law?
The law way back 1960 exists. Its implementation, like any other law in this country, is an issue. The law exists. The implementation is the issue. Like Mr. Ajekum said, even at the slaughterhouse, what goes on if one wants to condemn a carcass, that is deemed unhealthy. What goes on, if you witness it, you will never allow any of your relatives to go into the veterinary profession in this country.
But do we also have enough veterinarians? Do we have the capacity if we are to enforce the 1960 law, if we are to implement it fully? Do we have enough veterinarians as a country across the 16 regions we have in the country to see to the guidelines, regulation to meat processing before it goes to the market? Do we have it?
I would say no. No, the numbers are dwindling. People are retiring at a rate far higher than the new people that are being employed. The situation of the technicians got slightly better last year, thanks for government policy that enabled us to employ, I think, about 450 vet technicians. So the situation got slightly better. But with the veterinarians, the doctors, the situation is getting worse.
Do you get funding from our ODA's partners, like the other agricultural product, let's say the crops? We know that there's always an FAO intervention. There are some stimulus packages that are given to farmers. Let's take planting for food and other interventions that we get from our ODA, partners. In livestock, do we get funding, and how is the funding disbursed, especially to the northern part of Ghana where cattle is, largely reared?
Abeiku, yes, we do have assistance from FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, and as recent as December last year, FAO assisted us to map out all the slaughtering facilities in the country. It was a hectic thing we did. The whole country, mapping out, identifying the slaughtering points, the slaughtering slabs, the slaughter houses, and the abattoir countrywide. That has given us
how successful was the exercise? Because when you still go around what do you call this place, New Plan Station, when you pass over Nima, over where in an open air, na down na abuane da ho said we mutwitwi abuane ho time. But in fact, sometimes you even see the carcass, meat no makunu no na eda kam eda pick up to now omo dey cost slaughterhouse now once na in an open air ebi omo nkata so kra na mbusa say, is this the meat that we are going to buy to eat? We see it under our naked eyes. So how effective was the exercise, sir?
The exercise is to address those issues. We identify them rightly, as you are saying.
Which areas in Accra?
All over the country, not Accra.
Okay, sorry.
We identify them, and FAO is in the process. There is a draft report, and FAO is in the process of establishing model slaughter point.
Nti ebetrasi ama afe na modi mo report ama FAO edi model aba ansana ya buy ebe na your parliament your policy makers ehhehhe mrama no. They don't care about our food safety. All right, hold that for me. And come on, I think this conversation we have to do it like 3 times. Bringing all stakeholders in our food, meat, food, protein, onto this discussion because your problem. Utie okay 101.7 FM. Utie Kwansu Jojo. Okay. Eating wholesome meat. What is the best approach? Alright, John Ajekum. Ekwan ben so na ye nkum aponche. Akokɔ krampo. Send you kum akokɔ. Obi tumi to akokɔ. Osro said obeku no. Eti obekɔ akoto ko store de. Obi so owa aponche. Onim kum. Nti no afre area boys. So mu bekum ma no. Ekwan ben so. Yetumi di semina ene sapo etwitwi aboa no ho nyina. Ekwan ben so ne yefa nku na.
Abe be da se. Me fi say ekwan papa no na aba e wo je fanko. Abe nka wo benya pa de a woni mama ka bebe nchro Togo ni be ba je fanko. Nti wura ho hwe ho a no se wow. Nka even Togo untimi nkum nam wo fie. Wa boa no emra nkyere saa. Togo ha ya akura. Togo unni kwan wa to wa boa no
untimi nku wa boa. Eyemra
na abrochire kura de na ne kankan kura abrochire wo wan
na wo ko hu aboa no kura wan bo
nim wo yare a wo be yare no ko mo mfa ho na mo hwe ya wo de adwuma ekoto obi so doctor bi ebe bre ansana ebia obi so anya yare fufuro bia enya ni mistake but wo na mo wakɔwe wo de yare Togo ha ya wo na Ghana nti abe the best way ni say enka wo aboa we nyambo a chena enka wo afie bi mu kohwe na kohwe baabi a wo bibo din si ekum nam mama kan bibibiem America ni bi buy na watena US a chepa iti oba ye boga na ni agye aboho abusua tuka ko tarako wo baabi ko to wo dwan pa wo tuadua we dey friends wo dwan wo tuadua na omudi wuru a ekira ho se de ya omoye no da bia no nti wo wa na bibi kan se won ko hwe se de wo mo kum nam no nti boga wuru a ho no hwe nsu a wo mo gina mu ni taya wo mo di atoto aboa no ni se de wo mo twitwi aboa no a wo mo na isi nam no so what is it no jai nam no nyina cha wo mo otu no ka ekoye se wo obi beka so wo tu no but onko wi nam we onu asika wo de onko wi enko nya yare emfa bi inside na busua nya
ma membra before Dr. Geoffrey Akabo Abeba ma men sambra also yeah research you say yeah research power topic you the lot of researches because of Mekaya the researches we have done on this subject we can't exhaust it even one day. We have talked about meat. We've not even talked about what do you call poultry. Yaka meat aponchi udwan nantwi yemba enkoko double omonso ekwa fa so prepare no eno so ewo ho me ba jafamko ana me hu say mo de machine ena tutu akoko ho na me hu bi da ye de ye titi ni ye nyina oto akoko a no ama ni nsu anom no watutu ne ko ase akoko no beku na o ma ni tasting nsu say odo ututu ne ko na ase no ututu a na watutu form na ne ntakra no wa kana do na esi so na wo do na mienu esi eyi so na wa chi ne ko no sa na wutwa kwashe na wutwa no so a utwa na se ubu ne ko no na moja ne ba uwi ana wato na to onu atumi sa na wawu owu a make say na nso hie na abe na de na num ne tutu ne ho saa tutu ade atwitwa akokɔ ne nai ne ti no ne de ama boys na mo be boa he no mo fa mo nkoye pepper soup na mo mfa afi aka inside no ho ne ye betwitwa ne yi yamade na ne ba ne ayi no de ama boys na mo akɔ saa ne ye ba me ba jafam ko mi unza mo de machine
ne tutu
ana mo di tutu akokɔ no ho
abe winim no kware ba akopɛ se wo hwɛ de woje fanko no a me fi se emunketu akora ni senka ya ban abetwa mu kɔ ne de esuso so oboa abrochirefo wo mu akwantuo mu a omu pɛ kwan abɛboa Ghana na se ya bɛyɛ adwuma na ya bɛtena ye kuro mu ha no abe mimi die ye ketewa kora ye wo nipa bebre omo sika wo abrochire papa ba dodo na esanse enoma bia mra enhyeda nya adwuma wo Ghana ene uni panyi bi adue wo Ghana ntino amanfo estimu obi ampese wodi ni sika ebeba abeboa ye man no na nka aban no bo mra bi ho ban ma mra ye adwuma wo Ghana abe nkanya aban kura na ebeboa kanya ni Ghana fo a
me de me ka say what aban be to me aye policies because in every economy in a private sector the government so let's come to who there we because we a private person why you there about your abattoir is even bigger than the government abattoir.
So abe say me abattoir so che why should I suffer? Didn't there was enka jefanko e bia me breast struggle till now.
Yambra what processes by na mo fa so de ye
process na de tutu enkoko ne de no ye hunu say yamfa machine ni obi timi ba otimi to akoko 10 at the time akoko 10 no abe da be na ye di be say de woka ye be twa ne mene atutu ne minimu atwa ne mene edi nsuo hyi akonum nsuo no utu ba ko ana ahye no watwe won sa so de ye no say ye twa ne mene a ne moja na sone moja ne sone owu a e wo so owu kura you don't need to punish the animal nti owu kura abe ya no nsuo hye e wo ho we ya now de nanu ude akoko nanu nsuo hye no na ude na betu machine nti us packing machine na within a second enkoko 10 ne wo mu a etutu ni nyina ntakra nti de nipa ya ne say ye be pai ne bo ne yi ne nso no na wanya wa akoko nti amadwuma nti uhwe sesei yeton koko papa live chicken yeton ojefanko papa because you catch us wo ba ya instant yebe akoko no gina ho
eti same wo makoko wo mi fia metumi de na ba no
bronya obi ade na akoko na nyina anye bronya nko wo de free fia yebe ya ama wo beto wo ho so a yebe ya ama
na me de ma punch nso be
nyina punch wo de ba senior veterinary ye wa assistant say the doctor aka no first no na omo ndo so but sabre ya make say yefanko mo be 4 health assistant more
4 veterinarian veterinary technician
were 4 ebi wo anajo ebi wo ano
hwem wani nyina ansa na maku
na me ka no me ni nyamresa wa anya veterinaries no wa anya adwuma me ma wo nje science ka no kora but this year improve more wo doctors no wo a wo ba ya ba ko behwe ba ko honi ya ba ko so wo inside
I am concerned with the education Dr. Geoffrey Akabo has given us today, especially the public health diseases yenyawo emboa ho. Then I've been asking myself, so restaurants and eateries, where do they get their meat from?
Even me say big stores with their big shop I can see a wo kroma no abe mimbusa doctor ono na where did they get their meat from? Ude busano mimi ye jefanko me kuma be a big facility na me catch her say me kum sankofo no mo a busa won say hifa no mukum wo mo nam hifa busa doctor.
That's the big question.
Can I answer that?
Yeah, doc, come in. Doc, you can come in.
Okay, FM.
I think Mr. Jekum is directing the question to the wrong person. Mine.
You are a public servant.
Mine is to ensure that whatever is brought to the slaughtering facilities are properly inspected and approved or otherwise for human consumption.
That's all.
Good. Then where these stores get their supplies from, the chop bars get their supply from, is a little bit beyond my scope for now. The environmental people could address that issue.
And even the health directorate of the various MMDs, the Metropolitan Municipal Assembly.
Exactly, the Sama
people. The Sama people.
Whatever you call them, the environmental. So, ours is to ensure that, like Mr. Jacob is saying, whatever is brought there is thoroughly inspected, approved for human consumption, or refused. The challenges are there.
We have history of some communicable diseases that came from animals. Even COVID-19, coronavirus, not this particular COVID-19, but the coronavirus that was first diagnosed, it is believed that it came from animal. HIV/AIDS, it came from animal. So therefore, we have to be very concerned with where we buy our meat, our protein, our poultry, where it comes from. I think time is fast spent today. We want to repeat this topic next week, and we'll look at it from another dimension. No problem. We want to continue this topic exactly next week 4 p.m. Today, Reverend took more of your time. Yeah. Next week we'll have more time. Jafanko, ubetumi akache, and then I'll be sebi swamope more services. Then doctor will also tell us the services we can get from veterinary services.
If you say your service, so open Jafanko a choir, you Medina social welfare. The Medina estate to go to the social welfare. Boyfriend station go. You want a cheap Abe nyamboa echena mpanyimfo se we final sakofa yenchi me mami nuanom kramofo nyina in advance barika de sala ochena behwe ene crowd behwe Jefanko nantwie udwan aponche echena mpai wo ho a ebedwa na de akono no se abrofo no mumu a wo mu bekum na mo cheche no se echena posi sand yankum kra bekum nantwie be 400 nyamboa efiri china
ubekum nantwie ahe
ubekum nantwie be roughly
400
bako over ba memen ko a Jefanko ko a de mekoko ba bi wo mbekum ne fie nka ho but ye de no sa veterinary si wo honti no utimu se bibia be pepepe neat decent e bi ba wa na abe ma menkan fu me customers ma ne bi wo mu ba Jefanko o ma manage o mu ho mekeke te say de madihini bio said them adia eye ma ne be fe because
restaurant be na beto wonam
oh abe restaurant no was hotels akese no dodo na
hotels ne beto nam wo
dodo na beto nam no ba abe wonim difference wo no say obi the tire ahye nam wo so the gas ahonam
it wo gas na wo de honam
gas na de kura tire de
mo use time mo use eja
tire de musuo kura musuo ma me say
gas cylinder gas wo mu no
me am we nam ni bi nti say me the tire akoye na me ko we say me amaku me ma poison me ho eti tire de modi kura na china nkramofo ni nyina dodo na corona ba ye sre yemianum nkramofo wo mu fie dodo na akum nam no wo fie poto me nyini se eno e hara akwan so no ba dodo na wo ba Jefanko sisi a wo kwa nantwie agyinagyina ho a ochena ne de beba chena no untimi nkai but ye be service ye be wo madwuma ni nyina pepepe ye bo no so no abe ya na nkofo fi se de ho efe no ye no ma no bo edin sa nti obi wo a wo makro no obi ba na we ni ese
fa mo number mai
abe Jefanko number is
and number na mo
wo kan na mo a wo ho mintimi mbobo ye kan na mo a ye wia ye ton aponchi nam ni nyina bi nantwie ye ton ni nyina bi ye ton krokoko enkoko layers de tunkosua no turkeys double a confirm life why wo ba wo mu ginegina ho point and kill wa wo don sa kire sa akoko we na me pe me ko do no aponchi we na me nantwie we na efata se me de ne yankwa ni aye ho adwuma ma na wo de ko wa de fefefe ye de machine abe wonim sikaya ye de twitwa na unse doctor kan one regional ministers obesra me wo se sikaya ye de twitwa nam no dompe bi wo se nipa no wanti mi anwe sa dompe ni na wo mene koto ye mo a eti se de 1 minute pentoa na wo hemu so a se dompe intimate digested eti dompe to ye eti se de 1 minute pentoa so think about it hwe table o mu twitwa nam no wo so no da be no mo horo table no so moja ne wansana na dore moa na ye de sika na ejira na
pacho my wo number no na
eno man wo ka se wo ka
next week ye beto am komo so next week bombra next week
not
eti my number ye benya mo
my number is 0247 62 8588 Jefanko no man mami timbia be 0247 62 8588 ufreye tebia Jefanko is available ye no be adwuma fefefe ye nam no so de bra na behwe ebinom fa ya ni mehwe ya na bi fi se bibi ketua bi ne bibi popochua bi ne ya ne Jefanko no bi bebu ano say wow there's me hona brofo ba wo manije
that's it
standard
that's it Jefanko Abattoir and Coastal Madina Social Welfare free 0247628588. Doc,
hello.
So what are some of the services that the veterinary services of Ghana offers to the general public?
Abeiku, veterinary services directorate offers diverse services. We
know rabies vaccination, anti-rabies vaccination, and dogs and cats, but we don't see you.
We control diseases.
Okay.
By vaccination, we like these diseases I mentioned, brucellosis. Sorry, the diseases I just mentioned, most of them are preventable, and we prevent them by vaccinating them. We treat sick animals. We regulate entry of imported animals into the country. We ensure that they are brought in with the required documentation.
Okay, FM.
Not too long ago, you might have heard of this gizzard issue at the port.
Yeah.
It is the veterinary services that unfold that problem and then ensure that the gizzards were condemned. Then coming to my area, veterinary public health, what do? We ensure that you consume safe meat by helping private abattoir like Mr. Jefanko, various slaughtering facilities, points scattered all over the country. Sincerely, every district in this country
has
a minimum, no, not an abattoir, either a slaughtering point, a slab, a house, or abattoir.
Next week we'll look at what is an abattoir and what is a slaughterhouse.
What is a point?
So we'll look at the differences between slaughterhouse, because we know slaughterhouse. If you go to Kuvudia slaughterhouse. And we have abattoir. So
we'll see into that.
The differences.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
My message to the listeners out there is that let us all try to cultivate the culture of ensuring that we consume meat inspected by the approved authorities.
That is the veterinary services.
That is the veterinary services.
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Geoffrey Akabua, Deputy Director, Veterinary Services Ghana, in charge of public health and food safety, for coming onto our show. Next week, God willing, we'll continue. We want to know the differences between slaughterhouse and abattoir, and why should I go to an abattoir or a slaughterhouse or you said what, slab? A slab. And what have you? Thank you so much for coming, Mr. John Ajekum Jafamko. Yadasipi ene motaimwa mwenya ediama. Ebucha for ye jinkrato ye ba ye de bless the mic bro na ene crime officer ene ba bless the mic. Na crime officer before be ba no kra no trendy ne belt bi a wakobo ensem bebre.
Munia, yet to unlimited course with Vodafone Red, so no one yana. Jack, me too no expiry with Vodafone Red. Hey, star 200 hash me wa. Hey, Matthias here, when you be what? Vodafone Red, no lie, Coco to me top man to you because I call a browser da. Vodafone Red, star 200 hash system. Cecilia, ye Casako no browser. Star 200 hash, Mawi unlimited course, call Vodafone to Vodafone. So data boom full, talk time be bria, what be friend now for 4 more other networks. So we and Sado a bonnet da from now we know Sika home fast on so Vodafone ready dear we know but star 200 hash na you package ya a yamao a free 1 Ghana cedi aircraft ready. If you be brand new, and a yakosu diki so pesi nioma wo manyimu, na wo guso bogana for basu wa kwamia senyi nemo. Ye nama befu nimjeso e de ki brilliant abremo, and ye dasu kra ye ntete puma semna no se pinti. Ki enijia e fritete, dachia enida hoyupo. Kiso amansan buafo.
FD ahwehwe se dwede nkrato emu agye atum se ye.
Son boy, man a boss. I want God, I man a boss. Boss it up, boss it up. Me a go boss it up, boss it up, boss it up. Yeah, we never run, because you know we are the real big boss. Never rush, we never crush, because you know we are the real big boss. We conquer the storm, break every norm. Boss bring the energy you can't feel now. Got to know we are the big boss. Boss it up, boss it up. Me I go boss it up. I am the Beam Nation president, the Beam Boss. Grab a bottle of Big Boss energy drink and boss it up.
Another quality product from Belacqua. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to your health. Not recommended for persons under the age of 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Enjoy your cake, madam.
Thank you.
Simply tap to pay on a POS for your everyday purchases with your contactless Absa vertical debit card. No PIN and no swipes required, and no need to carry cash. It's that convenient.
Boss, I finish your full tank? Yes, sir. Safe trip, sir. Thank you.
Tap into a safer way of fueling your hustle. Tap into fast, easy, and safe contactless payments. Apply for your Absa vertical debit card for your contactless payments today. That's Africanacity. That's Absa. Daily and transaction limits along with terms and conditions apply. For more information, visit absa.com.gh.
Hey, Minya, what's it? Say, what's a senior Semaya Bisopano Pebia? Ebano Panondo dear. Nagana for bay 5 million, not say what to say, bay and prenu. What's it what Trotro? Hajia watch a line no more. What an fake Coco Joint now, and walk on a hono. Now say, what's it what to say, pay, not just a cocosano. A bay a darkasa.
Also, have you heard? Say, Anopakos ye free. Or Etel Tigo so a friend of Panunum, Cosi non do sa, Busuminsia.
Busuminsia.
Sa, say, what to Etel Tigo same. Now the Etel Tigo man in a talk credit, and now the Dijumebia. Anopakos ye free. Sa, Busuminsia. Ah, say, what? Spread the news here. Now, when it's here. Concosano Gale. Kojo Etel Tigo sim and the
Airtel Tigo. Life is simple.
Ufie be fair. We dwuma me wo important bet bright here. Fire no azar paint. E ban bia ho no witwa no azar. E hrensen roma. Azar paint ye papa. E chepa. E chi sama be bianso ye trebien. E ti brighten. Azar woda so teso azar still number 1 from the Azar Group.
Do you worry whenever you need to shop? Does the idea of not getting value for the money you spend stress you out? Is finding quality always a hustle? Then the Achimota Retail Center is for you. Get the best of groceries, beverages, clothing, stationery, and many more at unbeatable prices that will keep bringing you back for more shopping. Just walk into any of our retail shops with amazing ambience and shopping comfort. And they have every measure in place to ensure the safety of customers in the midst of the whole COVID wahala. Social distancing, washing of hands with soap and water, as well as hand sanitizers provided at various points and locations. Please do your part by remembering to wear a face mask anytime you visit the center. Achimota Retail Center. Vibes in Kwan.
Enapa, 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 enapa. Yo, enapa sardines, enapa mackerel, enapa soya sauce, yeah, enapa baked beans, enapa spaghetti. Charlie, try enapa. And I regret so I want to be near yet dead. Hey, enapa, I had the so cool. Enapa, enapa, enapa.
Enapa sardine is a vegetable oil. It's best for your kinky or your banku and pepper. Enapa mackerel with some thick, rich red tomato. spaghetti media Italia baby.
Yeah, Napa, I had a suku. And Napa. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Oh no! I miss shopping at my affordable and most convenient shopping mall in Ghana. When will they open?
You mean West Hills Mall? They never close. Your favorite mall is open, providing all the essential needs.
Wow! How did I miss that?
Well, open your eyes, my dear.
AC, Kweku, now that you're home, get yourselves ready. Let's go shopping at West Hills Mall.
Go on and have fun.
Now, let's go shopping.
Yes, but only if you're going with your sanitizers and nose masks. I hear West Hills Mall doesn't joke about anti-COVID safety protocols.
Baby, I got you covered. Don't worry.
West Hills Mall, Ghana's biggest, best stock and most secure one-stop family shopping center with its spacious hallway, huge parking space, food court, recreational and entertainment outlets. Remember to always wash your hands with soap and running water.
Let's go West Hills Mall.
Oh Lord of mercy, A is for awesome for everyone. A is for all you can get done. Awesome camera, awesome screens, long-lasting battery. Yeah.
The all-new Samsung A11 with triple camera, 6.4-inch screen, and 4,000 mAh battery at only 819 Ghana cedis. Or grab the A21s with 6.5-inch screen, 5,000 mAh battery, and up to 48 megapixel quad camera at only 1,199 Ghana cedi. Authorized Google apps are preloaded on all Samsung Galaxy smartphones, so no need to worry about your security. It's truly awesome in every way.
Samsung Galaxy A, awesome for everyone.
Terms and conditions apply.
One Ghana city, pets. Sunlight Samna, Sisia, a one that one Ghana city pet. Kona kwaje wodie. A Jadian craft we have dear, Hishimwa Jap to say, yeah.
What's the day? Catch me.
I saw him, I'm in country.
Araba, men your missile.
Odo, a long story.
Any chassis, no one see my Vodafone cassatinting, person miti bia.
Okay, hey, Missy, offer me no.
Din komono na fili na drop sa filano. Shitolino na kasateten ten e wo Vodafone kasatenten so. Friend and fofoni ebusianfo e wo network bia so. Na bon komo emreteten ten bia wo pe. Na just na di kan no pe. But star 135 hash and after 135 na subscribe e wo Vodafone kasatenten so. And she share kakra wo ho.
Ready?
Okay, FM. 1997. Dr. Ray begin the timing. Check. Check.
Joe Menyesika bio. It is a weka aya dewa. Me patch star 446 hash. Aya dewa. Yaka dewa. Yaka loto aba fofra. Ubetumi atwa won mobile money so. Aya easy cry. Dewa wo se afa. So what person wunya sika say dewa any loto abetumi atwa. Dial star 446 hash. Now choose 5 numbers from 1 to 39. A simple gra. Kumasi Kwame despite when Yesika Obesan Yesika bio. It is a woman I'm when Yesika no Tommy Benzia. Then one can say me Illuminati. Makwa Chadewa 5/39. Choose 5 numbers from 39. Dial star 446 hash. Nature says here. Dewa Osiafa. Yabobo Dewa every day, Monday to Saturday. Yabon 7 p.m. on Facebook so. Dewa games. And then you may heavy. 81 mobile money, 2 cities, 5 cities, 10 cities. Petrol Lotto says here. Dewa now when you see Kabio, what it? So we just see Canwa for any chair West Hills Mall. Now West Hills Mall at Titinia Maso and Pabuan in Tadie. Household items. The electronics, furniture, a banta dear. Ya Titinia Maso our West Hills Mall. COVID-19 kwafo say yam twade ba ukọ West mo kwafo twade pa and offense what the air safety protocols ni nyina agu akwa mu for any chair West Hills Mall ewo SEC Wager Junction an irresistible destination for shopping any business and recreation. West Hills Mall, a happy place. All right, this is Crime Officer in the background. Welcome to OKFM. Bless the mic, Crime Officer. Now, we are soldier and police ni. Crime Officer. What trending on social media so? Bibisa. Before I be bahano. Na enkrofo start hitting me DM say busa Crime Officer. Na obi awo Ogidi Brown record label. Enka sika anya woden. Sika enye problem kra. Because obi anu say Ogidi Brown there ehye no ho pa. Why ni Crime Officer?
Crime Officer a young talented black boy opese oputi Ghana music to a different level. Opese me puti Ghana level to a different level to put Ghana on the spot where obi anfa Ghana nkoy. Oh, nature said the Sako the Stone Boy, the Shatter, the Samini omo aye ni nyina kidini Kwame UG bisa kede ni omu di agro wo Crime Officer. Wo na wo the Ghana music cut the level na yepe. Obia ne de obia ne bebi odi bedru. Na me dem believe say me de betra. Ehifa na person of the Ghana music echo. Say Pluto kra nipa wo ha me person me de Ghana music dru ho. Hey, yeah. Esa wo de wo betwa bi to beji www. Me twa bibia. Me patrol Crime Officer. Me no be interview no kra na misro. In fact, say nye producer na ka so your bomb power hantima misro. Oh, and so strong. The entire misro ni say you have accepted Schnapp and Nkosia and now they sign a contract. No pray. Hey, young boy. Now who's through? Obi a who sign a contract, Udin Nkosia and Schnapp and a sign. Why would you do that? Rapini, no crania, wasim no say that day no. Sign a neighbor sono. And Ajuna Manda, Menisuna crack. Intino, Makoye new person. Officer, Papa sign a contract. I don't even know anybody there apart from Ogidi Brown. Any my witness somebody me chikoye. I me feel say I shouldn't be asking questions too much because Schnapp ne ex never hon obi anka ho asama nkyere me say ebia ya bodue gu what the wabeye no so me koye na wo ho. And I didn't want to be too nosy, you know. After contract signing, no, and I'm a baby sir who asks him. It's Adiana Ogidi Brown about Nkosia Schnapp. The first time I met who were Ghana, I said, artist sign a contractor or do Nkosia and Schnapp and a sign. Or chairman say, Ombodia and good contract national. They are there to serve as a witness. Should something happen in the wrong way in the near future, yeah. Enti Nkosia Schnapp no ejina ho ma se bibi esi dachia eno ne bedi adanse amano Nkosia ne bedi adanse ama Ogidi Brown ana Schnapp no nina ba okwa sorry pacho me kwa sorry okwa sorry wey or Grace Chapel Abeiku Post Office eti osofo ya we say was sign a contract with Nkosia Schnapp omo na bisa me o me bisa me ho asem na me kan okra wo mu kire mo say onim se me Kristoni na na se na mete as na sorry ba na but you accepted to sign a contract with Schnapp and Egg because no one a symbolic fetish protocol no one enlightened me on what we are going to do and as well oh me no me ho kwan bia so hey and you enjoyed it bra penny ade ne say yamamre mu no ye de Nkosia bofom na ye de nse gu ho ansa na ejina ho ma bibi oh sir ba we Nkosia na ye di no Nkosia de anyuma bebre nti eno na wo de aye onwumi ye nti enwum no we ye sikedro eman crofon postro onwum title sikedro ene wo contract nso di Nkosia ne Schnapp ene sign are you into spiritualism.
Acho enye bibisa. Asem ne say denti a metro sikedru no. Enye sikedru say me kwa kope sika every bosom ho and say different god be ho. But the concept is unya wiase mu ha say oni obi o level bi na o upgrade the next day. Once we upgrade here because say on timi do level na wo no. Am start ama wo edin say we
it is a see a crime officer say wo hit here enye snap ni nkosuare na ma wo hit here.
Debi.
Enye sikaduro. Na mo ma dey.
Talent ene nyame.
Let's go. Bless the
Classic baby.
Crime officer be the name. Go for it, I want things so na me da fi se fienye. Me kama sema die be chin fi se mi wiene. I be the real black sheep, she menim punching a set. Abraham Brenda tadi she mati dene. Na mi shira me ya. Papa mintino. Menye sikentino. Me wo bia woni bientino. Na mi shira me ya. Papa mintino. Menye sikentino. Me wo bia woni bienti. Life no be easy, so my brother, you for work hard. Mind your business and work for your own, make you no jejo. If you dey do these things one day, you go hello. I dey tell you, you go hello. Nyami shiramea, Otai mintino, menye sikentino, me wo bia woni bienti. Nyami shiramea, Otai mintino, menye sikentino, me wo bia woni bienti. Emra mini biene wen umyo, me na mo fomo no wen umyo. Go for it, ya sitting I want to that, hey, and clear bra boss when who da. Why you dey do me so? If you go where they bless me, oh, don't be jealous, oh. See your time to go come, oh, yeah, my yeah. But I ain't meeting, yes, he can't,
oh, but enyum na de pa, yambo sa mama. What time in 2 sikadro? Na so wouldn't bra ma bra wo kofodi anka wonka se sikadro. Me maton sweet bad, maton banfo bese, maton togbe, maton bread. Maton sokodia, maton brodier. Eno de ene nye sikadro. Bon sama eye crime officer under Ogidi Brown music. Ogidi Brown music. Oh, kwa sign o contract no. One of the clauses they say memfa oba embao.
Baby sir.
Hey, na issue muna mu manage artist. Contract I wouldn't cause you national person. I sounds my warning say memfa oba embao. Not just a contract no HBB.
And you say HBB na in a way so HBB. HBB no. HBB na HBB say
Oba. Oba one menses ana say
Debi. Un say ade ne say makoy new e system ni mu no. Ejuma me ejuma bi a etwetwe nkofo ben o. Especially in ma intino for me to be focused no or more focused no. Say me stay away from
Emma.
Yes. But no nche say bia mama mfa oba.
Into your girlfriend.
Bro penny e be kan wasef.
Hey, say untumi nka o girlfriend ho asem ba betumi aka snap ni nkosua ene eyi a na ne mesro kakra o.
Oh, menstro me.
No, menstro as a person but just me as a menji wundi.
Oh, say ojimi di o.
E de na wo contract mu a ensa say wo de oba e ba wo ho. But nkosua ne snap de obetumi assign a whole contract.
Nkosua ne snap no I had no idea about the whole thing. Me kwa nisi ho. Na
oba no so
oba no so no in a way metiase.
What ase?
Yes.
Ope. Ufi Kofodia.
I mean Kofodia me we school ho me we tertiary ho.
Uwie Kofodia Technical University.
Pachon.
Okay, good. What bo enyum Holy Ghost Fire featuring Eye Eno Baroni. Yebeka ho asem. Stay tuned.
Pacho, bon try me na me fan kratwe entwam. Me se wotie me se sia na wo pe estate ene eno ne the modern new estate eba Ghana aba Cedar Court Estate ewo Apollonia. Cedar Court Estate ewo Apollonia. In fact, Yahoo Estate bebre. Now we any the new modern estate aba Cedar Court Estate a modern gated estate community the amount our 24-hour security, serene green environment ubehendia just a park what affordable luxury living in Accra here. Cedar Court Apollonia. Cedar Court Apollonia. Cedar Court Apollonia Estate say own a property for as low as 1,500 cedis a month. So we bet me the 1,500 cedis at all. Yes, see estate full for Kessie Ewatema Afienya Kwanso. Any Adenta Dodowa Road. Branabe picking forms Ewo Peace FM OKFM haya na fele. Na efina kwe e dan a wo rente no. Sikana a wo de rente dan no. Fenya e dan. Yankase kukuru sika beto dan 100,000, 50,000. You see to 1,500 cedis a month and own the building. We a good news. For be a person who only die. What the brea na ye adwuma na mosomi nya 1,500. What the awoje 3,000 cedis a. Ko yimu 1,500 ama eye edai no every month. What we within few years edai na ye wo dia. For 0248 633 581 0248 633 581. Yamfasidama Big Boss Energy Drink. So I say Muna Yede and Komotri bro. Big Boss Energy Drink. Bust it up because you're the real big boss.
Stone boy, man a boss. I wonder, I man a boss. Bust it up, bust it up. Me a go bust it up, bust it up, bust it up. Yeah, we never run. Because you know we are the real big boss. Never rush, we never crush. Because you know we are the real big boss. We conquer the storm, break every norm. Boss bring the energy you can't feel now. Got to know we are the big boss. Boss it up, boss it up. Me I go boss it up. I am the Big Nation president, the big boss. Grab a bottle of Big Boss Energy Drink and boss it up.
Another quality product from Abeiku. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to your health. Not recommended for persons under the age of 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
All right, OTA OK 101.7 FM. Na yene crime officer. Abentina wofa edin crime officer.
Crime officer no. Crime newo enimne acronym. I represent creating redeems you mostly enjoy. So I am that officer who creates redeems you mostly enjoy.
Wow. Yeah. Like Sikedro. Yabeba a new one, Holy Ghost Fire featuring Eno Baroni. Me pacho J Prompt Services. Your total power solution. Some guy will say, oh problem ewo electricity for some. Electricity for edundumo kania. Omo voltage yusu tumiko high, tumiko low. Ashewo nema. Ufree you TV nema say. ECG phone tiama. Enti wontu ho fo na won fa ho adwen na won be pay UPS any AVR embo oniama ho bai won be pay stabilizer na stabilize electricity na aye presso dum so no J Prompt Services ewo asylum down for 026 3211703 J Prompt Services, your total power solution. Afei Big Boss Energy Drink e catch us adwuma bia wo ye bia no ma wani nkwa adwuma ne so na ye ne yie fa wa hoɔden ye na sɛ wa hoɔden so ate na pa hoɔden hya na mu dia ene enom Big Boss Energy Drink enu na ma stone boy dia kobo putu a ene putu challenge aba enkwada ni ma me busa sɛ uhu putu nwom no sɛ nyansa nwom
in a way nyansa nwom
in a way
yeah
ba o hwem pa some way so
no. Say there's no classification. To me, they're nyansa nyom.
Okay.
Quench my fire,
but the fire go burn you.
And the patcho, my fire be ender womu big boss energy drink, boss it up for 0544-335-800. All right, boss it up with us with Holy Ghost fire. Yanko, crime officer, Prince Isaac, Ako,
Crime officer be the name of. Yeah, if you hate me, keep on hating. My baba they watch you. See them try to quench my fire, but the fire go burn you. If you hate me, keep on hating. My baba they watch you. See them try to quench my fire, but the fire go burn you. Holy Ghost fire go burn them. The fire go burn them. Holy Ghost fire go burn them. The fire go burn them. Holy Ghost fire go burn them, yeah. The fire go burn them, yeah. Holy Ghost fire go burn them, yeah. Fire go burn them, yeah. And sheni ya wo bebremu. On conseni sha wanantimu. What time you want mu. Susu kama sa momantemu. Nema ya mabuni neche. Afede woni mi kese. Udi meni na medrosu weje. Ngami wo munti mi stretch.
But crime officer, your song is good.
Thank you.
You sing very good.
Thank you.
May I sure will say if you and me the one come a playlist no. May the Holy Ghost see come a year 1997 any putu no.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much for coming and you're the best here. May God bless you. Ebusa for ha and the DNC. Ekofano Sia Kasebo Peace 104.3. Holy Ghost Fire, brand new one, crime officer featuring Eno Baroni has been added onto our playlist. It's good. This guy is good. We'll support him. Ubetumi I said that Lumba in future. You have a good future. Yeah. But watch out in Kusiane Shinap. Peace. Adino Sia Kasebo twice.
Okay, FM 01.5 FM where Dum Kumase Asante Mantem Kropone wo Ghana Mantem no Eyadunsia 16 regions na baby bia kwabrani bia hye no kaseboi etegu ohonmo a omu nyina etie bie kasafidie ba se die sia ne ekire sister no over ena de smama etie bi wo so afa ya kwama no ne